kidding me?
Ay, yeah, what's the word, huh? 1942 for the hurt, huh? S-man got left by the curb, huh? He the worst, huh? So bad, probably can't find the words, huh? I'm based by the way, what's yours, huh? Where's that from? My day real right with that one. Is this your last one? Can I buy you a drink for real? I think we could be a thing for real. See your vibe from like a mile away. You the type to dance the night away. Show me how you get down, where you from? Where you from? We don't got what you got in the city. Around here, they don't make them this pretty. You ain't gotta turn down for no one, rock that body. Throw your hands in the air if you own one, rock that body. Little fast like girl, the slow one, rock your body. Come on, rock that body. Say rock your body. You ain't gotta turn down for no one, rock your body. Yeah, throw your hands in the air if you own one, rock that body. Yeah, little fast like girl, the slow one, rock your body. Come on, rock your body. I don't think that I've seen you before, but I think we should stop being strangers. What you doing tomorrow on 4? Think your schedule might need rearranging. What you do, oh, you model, that's major. I'm an artist like rapping, not painter. Yeah, I know, girl, this rap dangerous. So it's living, so who really blame us? And I got a friend for your friend, and he ball like me too, so let's make it a deal, okay? And I can't believe that you single, girl, looking like that, man, you really is still okay. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel, okay? But this drink, I be keeping it real, okay? Turn down for no one, rock that body. Throw your hands in the air if you own one, rock that body. Little fast like girl, the slow one, rock your body. Come on, rock that body. Say rock your body. You ain't gotta turn down for no one, rock your body. Yeah, throw your hands in the air if you own one, rock that body. Yeah, little fast like girl, the slow one, rock your body. Come on, rock your body.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is February 2nd, 2025. And Nate, you're right today. It is, fellas. Dave is back. What's up, Dave?
Yes. Hello. I almost forgot to unmute my mic. I was looking, luckily. But yes, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good, you know.
It's nice to have you back.
No,
that
it's
our
not.
boy Mace playing us in. You didn't get to hang out with Mace, but he'll be back on the show. I already told him that he has to come do a show. Him, Meek, has to come over here. We'll
Yes.
reschedule it on a time where you are able to be here. But quickly, hello, everybody. We appreciate everyone that's watching. Facebook, Kick, Rumble, X. Speaking of Kick, I have to go freaking fix the title over there. I hate that place. But it never does the title. It says on it like it's not compatible with titles. Like, how? Just to copy the title, Kick.
Also,
Anyway.
Nate here talking about the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about that at the end of the show because we know we'll go on tangents. So we're going to talk about it at the end of the show. But I kind of agree with you there. So we'll get on it because I thought the pay-per-view was great in general. So
yes, yeah, I thought it was fantastic. They did a really nice job. I the one thing I will praise them real quick before we get going is storylines. They are back to trying to create stories, trying to push storylines, and not just the feud is just they wrestle 3 or 4 times, go to a pay-per-view or whatever the hell they call them now, and that's it. Like it's over. Like there's actually some meat there, meat and potatoes. So they did a good job, but we're gonna you shut up. Anyway, we're gonna go into the fun stuff. Like I said, wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. If you're listening to this on podcast form, give us a good rating, 5 stars, leave us a comment there. And quick preamble, Epstein client list. Let's go. I'm tired of it. Cash, you're in now. Cash Patel's in.
He wasn't confirmed yet.
He's not in official. I thought he was.
No, they had the hearing.
Oh,
I
they had
don't
the
think he
hearing.
was confirmed yet.
I
No.
think he's gonna get confirmed, so okay, I'll give you some grace.
Yeah, I was
Give you a
gonna
little
say he's
bit of
not
grace.
in.
Okay, I'll give him some grace. So, but it looks
Because
like
like
he's gonna
RFK
get
is
in.
not in yet. No one like the only ones that are in are like Hexeth. I think Bonnie got
Yeah,
in. Bergam got in
Christy
easy.
Nome, I think, is in, or did she
Yeah.
get confirmed, right? I think she
No might have gotten confirmed. I can't remember.
I think RFK is gonna get through.
Yeah.
It looks like Tulsi's the one that's gonna have trouble because of the Snowden comments, apparently, that there's some Republicans that are concerned about the Snowden comments.
Mhm.
So, it's interesting. We'll see. I think ultimately they all get through. What type of deals are made in order for that to happen, we shall see, because that's usually how it works, right? The deals are made, they figure things out that way. But overall, um, yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But so Epstein Klein list, they have a pass for the moment. Helping out people in North Carolina, California with your Helena Milton victims, your fire victims. Still do what you can there. I have to give a shout out to Craig Leopard and Shadow Jumpers. If you would like to go to shadowjumpers.org, their spinathon, I believe, is this week, the 9th. Their annual spinathon. They have made their goal of $100,000, which is freaking amazing that they raised 100K. For those that don't know, I'll quickly explain it again. Shadow Jumpers, an organization started by our buddy Craig Leppert because he suffers from EEP, which is porphyria. He's allergic to the sun. And he started this whole entire organization, Shadow Jumpers, to basically help give kids that are going through what he went through, kind of a norm. And they do a spinathon. They're all on stationary bikes. The sun still sucks, which is hilarious. I love that. And yeah, definitely go support. It's a great cause. It helps out a ton of kids. They send kids to Florida. They, hooked up a young girl at a hockey game not too long ago. I think it was a Preds game or something like that. So they do a lot of good work. If you're going to donate to a charity, please go donate to Shadow Jumpers. Craig's amazing. So yeah, so definitely go on there. You can go up top. It says donate. It kind of blends in. I couldn't find it before. There it is. Donate. It's like right on the
Right at his bike.
right on the bike. So yeah,
His or her. To be quite honest, we don't know because they're all bundled up.
Yes. So we appreciate it. Definitely go and help out if you can. Spin the sun away. There we go. So that's that. A few more things. Just Moms for Liberty. Always support them. They're awesome. We do need to get to the bottom of the FEMA stuff still. I do not want to let that one die, that they were skipping Trump supporters in North Carolina. That cannot die. That should not die. There needs to be an investigation there. And lastly, keep on going. Don't let up. Just because Trump won, if you could see, they are slow rolling his nominations. Everything he's doing is getting criticized. We are, less than 2 weeks in, and they're already trying to blame them for all the for the plane crash, and they're trying to. It's fucking crazy the things that they're trying to do. So, don't let up. The fight is still not done. Keep on going. Do not claim victory yet. All right, Dave. You ready to roll?
No.
Let's do some fun stuff.
Okay.
Are you going to use our share screen down there, or are you just going to hate us?
I don't know how it works, to be quite honest.
Well, this is the screen that we share things on.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I wasn't entirely certain.
We didn't set it up beforehand, but this is the fleshy fun screen.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So first things first, Dave, we have a trade war potentially on our hands.
Well, I mean, it's not even potential. It's a thing right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it lasts, but Trump put 25% tariffs in Canada and Mexico. They're now putting retaliatory tariffs on us, and Trump said he's going to double them. So we'll see what's going to fucking happen here.
I mean, and the thing is, and we can already see some effects of this though, because I saw a thing. I don't know how true it is, but apparently Volkswagen is going to expand their production over here in America because they don't want to get hit with the tariffs. So they're going to start making Audis and Porsches here. Again, and this is going to be what the cause is, right? This is going to be what it is that some goods are going to be higher prices, and then you can go over to the American goods that aren't higher or maybe equal and buy American. And it's just a way to spur the economy. And if things like that happen, if they start sitting there going, hey, we don't want to deal with the tariffs, let's just go make it in America. It's American jobs. That's money flowing in America. So it will overall help.
Yeah.
And if you guys want the federal income tax gone, support the tariffs.
Well, and that's the thing though, is that I don't generally like tariffs, especially with the federal income tax and being
Yes.
taxed, right?
Yes.
Because it's just going to increase prices on everything.
Yep.
But I will say this, I mean, when it comes to Canada and Mexico, we're not exactly going against countries that have leverage on us. Mexico's a failed state, and Canada, Justin Trudeau literally had to say he's resigning in disgrace. So
Yep.
it's not like he has much political power there in Canada. I know people are kind of saying that this is kind of drumming up some anti-American fervor in Canada. I'm not entirely certain about that because look, I don't know. If Canadians can somehow become anti-American off of this, but not anti Justin Trudeau and their government off of truckers being there having their banks frozen, then I kind of got to question the Canadian populace at that point.
I mean, I already questioned them. They accept socialized healthcare and a terrible system where they allow people to just go kill themselves because they want to. Okay. Canada's already a fucked
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing is that that's what confuses me about that. But like we're going against countries that really don't have much leverage on us, countries that have put tariffs on us, or either just let people through the border when it comes to Mexico and Canada as well. But we're fighting with leverage here. So they want to go ahead and do some but you want to go ahead and do some retaliatory tariffs. We want to get into this little trade war, this bickering. If this goes on for a long time, it hurts us, right? It will hurt us. But Trump is making a play here. This is me speculating. Trump is making a play here that this won't go on for a long time. They're just kind of, puffing out their chest, trying to make themselves seem like a serious country. And then they're going to back down once they realize, like, we really shouldn't do that. Like, we
But
really
here's the
shouldn't
real
fight.
question, though. First, I want to get to this comment from Robert Whaley. Thanks,
Yes.
Robert.
Thank you,
We
Robert.
appreciate it. But 87.5% of Canada's toilet paper comes from the U.S. Trump has the opportunity to do the funniest thing.
Dude.
I mean, if he just cuts off TP,
No, but the thing is, like, while hilarious,
he would do it.
that would be fun. Like, it would work.
He would do it.
It would work. That's the thing. While hilarious, it would work.
Nate G saying, "Oh no, a bunch of woke Canadians might hate America."
But that's the thing. It's just like there's going to be Canadians that hate America already. I don't think this is drumming up some kind of anti-American fervor, even though people want to say it is.
Here's also the thing, though. When it comes to the conversation with Canada and when it comes to the conversation with Mexico, what exactly are we losing from either of them, right? If Trump is successful in getting energy flowing again, fracking and everything, then that's Canada's biggest play on us is the fact that they have a ton of oil, right?
Yes.
So that's honestly the biggest thing there. But if we can get our own energy going, we become energy independent again, then that's done. We're not worried about them there. And what is it? Mexico? Okay, we don't want your fucking avocados. I'm cool with that. Like, we don't need your avocados or your cartels or your fucking raping kids and stuff like that. Like, okay, cool. We're not like the thing is with the, at least the Canadian government isn't beholden to a bunch of terrorists. They're
Yes.
beholden to idiots, but not terrorists. Mexico's quite literally beholden to a bunch of terrorists, okay? The cartels were labeled as a terrorist organization for a reason, and it's true. And everywhere from the presidency, the whole government structure, the police structure, everything is the cartels. They are an organized military outside the military. So fuck that.
I will say this: is it technically a terrorist organization? Because it's not exactly for an ideology, right? It's more of like a mafia organization.
But
It is more of
terrorism
like a
isn't
mob.
ideological only. It's just something it's quite
But it's
literally causing
no,
terror.
but you're meant to stoke fear and some kind of message, though. That's the point of terrorism. It's not just stoking fear. You're not stoking fear for the fear of it. Terrorism is meant to have some type of you're doing the terrorism in order to get your message across, in order for people to have the terror, the fear invoked in order for them to listen to your message.
I mean, the modern day message of the cartels is we're going to take your fucking daughters.
I mean, that just makes all raiding terrorism. I'm sorry, I'm just being obstinate on definitions. But,
See, I got to look up the definition now because I don't know if that's 100% true.
I'm almost certain that's how terrorism is. But we don't need to stick on that. Real quick, Nate G said, many maple trees grow in America. Bring it on. Canada maple business is super corrupt. And they burn people alive in barrels. That's terrifying. No, it is. I'm not saying that what they do isn't terrifying. I'm saying that for it to be terrorism, there has to be some type of message.
I think that's a modern day.
It might be. It might
because
be.
because I just looked it up on Google. Don't know how thing it is. It's from definitions from Oxford Languages.
Mm-hmm.
The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of a political aims. So cartels are trying to be politically. They are trying to run the government.
I can give that. No, I can give that. I can give that. Then.
So
political aims makes sense. Yeah.
So that would make sense. So what else we got here? Robert Whaley. Most Canadians on X are embarrassed right now. I say that's how we felt the last 4 years. And the thing is, too, it's like, you have Rebel News there, right? You have Ezra Levant kicking ass over there, doing some really good stuff. He was just over terrorizing Paul Ryan over at the World Economic Forum. I watched that video, and he wasn't
Yeah, I
even being
forgot
mean
about
to
that.
him.
Yeah.
He was just trying to ask him questions, and Paul Ryan was a dickhead. So not surprising. But yeah, overall, the thing is with them, these are safe countries to go to war with, right? In terms of a tariff war, because whatever, they do some steel for us over in Canada. It's not like we're losing any major things, as long as Trump could get the energy flowing, which he's going to. That is the biggest factor here. When it comes to China, China's an interesting beast because we could end China tomorrow if we just flat out deny them everything, right? If we just sit there and we're just like,
That
we're
hurts
not
us a lot
taking
as
in,
well. That's the thing.
but we could withstand it economically. China is already a paper tiger economically. They would
Yeah,
fold, and it
I'm
would
just
hurt the
saying
globe. Terrible.
it'd be fucking tough. You
We
can't.
would
That's
put the
that's
globe
a
into
that's
a
a
depression.
huge move. That's a
Oh, don't get me wrong.
last ditch move.
That's a
Honestly,
nuclear bomb in economics. Yes, because it would put a world into a depression, right?
yeah.
We would have a world depression because of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it is, but everyone always talks about, well, China, we need China so much. China. And it's like, no, guys, China needs us. We work with China a ton. I think we take in like 70% of their exports. We are a ridiculous number for them.
Yes.
But it's not like they're buying a shit ton from us. So for us to cut them off, it would hurt us because we have a ton of goods from them. It would hurt the consumer, but in terms of our GDP, our economy, we wouldn't get crushed in
Yeah.
that
No.
sense. They would be done.
The thing is with them though is because we have so much of our manufacturing over there, like medication, all these types of things.
That would hurt.
We would need those to first come back to America.
Mhm.
we can't just cut it off before that comes back to America because then that really fucks us.
See, Nate G, I might disagree with you here. Paulaview, if he wins, will reverse course Justin Castro, just creating damage to a bad Canadian economy on his way out. See, I think we're seeing a lot of Nigel Farage in Paulaview. Okay. And
But I don't.
tough. And
but I don't.
when you need Pierre Paulaview to be there, he's not there.
So the thing is,
He'd be better.
I do think that he'll back down from this trade war with Trump with America. I think Paulo Vera will do that, but I
Yes.
don't think he'll be like amazing for Canada because I think that's what you're on. What
Yeah,
Nate's
he's
saying
a
is that
middle
he'll
ground guy.
reverse course in the trade.
Yeah,
war.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he would work with Trump, right? He would sit
Yes,
there and the
yeah.
message would be like, hey, we're going to end this trade war. We want to work with Donald Trump simultaneously.
Mhm.
We will, let's make a fair deal for both of us, right? I
Yeah.
think that, and honestly, I think what Trump is basically trying to do is work his own version of NAFTA here, is to make one where it's an equal beneficial for, obviously for America, but it benefits everyone. And I think we can do that. I had to look up who the Mexican president was. I didn't even know who the fuck she was. I didn't even know when she
It's
got
like
elected.
something like Steinman or Stein. I'm dead serious.
Sherahan? Claudia? No, it's Claudia Sherahan or something like Sherahan.
No,
No, I
I
looked it up. Claudia
okay.
something.
Okay, my bad.
Because I had to look it up to find the
like-
picture of her for the
Yeah,
thing.
it was some weird. It was
Claudia
some weird
Scheinbaum.
Scheinbaum. There you go. It was some weird name, man. That's I was like, where the
Not
fuck
gonna lie,
did
she's
it
not
come-
like she's got to be in like her 50s. She's not a bad looking woman.
Robert Whaley saying, I thought that bastard son of Castro resigned disgrace already. He announced he was resigning.
Yeah, he's
So
not gone. He's not going to leave until
Yeah.
they elect a new leader in the new elections,
Liberal
which could still be 6 months away.
Yeah. So they need to put up another person for the Liberal Party that he's a part of, but they haven't decided on anyone. But he announced his resignation.
Here's the biggest issue with all this. The conservatives are a bunch of pussies, and they're not rallying anybody around to get a vote of no confidence because they could force this tomorrow. They could force Trudeau out tomorrow because there is enough disaffected Labour Party members that would sit there and they already don't like Trudeau. So they could probably get a few of them to jump on their side. So the vote of no confidence will mean he doesn't have a coalition. They would have to, he would have to dissolve the government. And then they would have to hold elections in a week or so because that's how these stupid parliamentary governments work. If the fact that they're not doing that, and again, where there's Paulaview, right? This is where he should be out more
Mhm.
and trying to get and really working, because instead he grandstands. He's a grandstander, okay? He is exactly what who's the fucking Boris Johnson. He's Boris Johnson.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
grandstander. He is
That
a
is rough.
grandstander
That is a
that
rough
is going. He
comparison.
is a. I could see it from a
Yeah,
mile away.
that
I've been
is a
looking at these
rough
bitches for
comparison.
years. He is Boris Johnson. He's going to grandstand on all the topics that everyone is big about. And all of a sudden, when he gets into power, he's going to be exactly like, well, I was elected to represent all Canadians, so I'm going to work across the aisle labor, and nothing's going to get done. He's that type of guy. I could see it a mile away. And unfortunately, I didn't see it with Nigel Farage. And Nigel Farage is that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's
You
terrible.
sounded
to
like
see.
a specific character voice actor. I just can't put my name finger on it.
Well,
Thank you,
right, it's
Robert.
my eyes.
Bomb.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
a little bit, but thank you, Robert, for telling us Shine Bomb. Thank you. And Nate talking to Robert as soon as they like the new PM. Yep.
Yes. So ultimately, people were making a big deal out of these tariffs, and Trump did come out and say, like, it could hurt us in the short term, but it will benefit us in the long term. I see Mexico folding pretty quickly. I do, because honestly, their economy shit anyway. So it's like I see Mexico folding pretty quickly. I see Trudeau grandstanding for a little while because, um, like Nate said, he's kind of Bidening, and he's gonna try to destroy Canada as much as he can economically before he gets out. So whoever gets in next is going to have a tough time of it, because it will be a conservative. That's how it works. A conservative is going to win this time
Yeah.
in Canada, but he's going to try and do damage. He's going to Biden the fuck out of it, and I don't disagree. So he may hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I do really wonder how this is going to turn out, because like you said, Trump said this will hurt people if this continues on for like a longer time. Yeah, and I do think Mexico is probably just going to bow out pretty soon. Honestly, I don't know how long Trudeau is going to stay on. I really don't, because I don't know when it comes to even guys like that. Like, I know he'll want to hurt America, especially like leaving. But the thing is, like, these guys do care about legacy in some type of way. We see his legacy as shit.
That's true.
He doesn't see his legacy that way.
That would get him the vote of no confidence. I think that would happen quickly if he keeps this going, and the Canadian economy really starts to hurt.
Yeah.
Then you'll get some of the leftist coalition, like the aligned people in Parliament, will vote, and they'll get that quick.
But that's my thing, is that like these people do care about legacy. They see their thing in a different way.
He's going to go to Cuba. He's going to go home after this. Guy.
Yeah.
And then he's going to become, how fucking funny would it be if he goes to Cuba, claims his legacy, and becomes the president of Cuba?
That'd be pretty funny.
And would he be the first ever to hold like the highest office in two different countries?
Depending on how far, that we're not going to go back that far in history.
Honestly,
I'm not going to go into that.
If I'm Trudeau, I would love to have that be my legacy as the first modern, like,
world leader,
modern,
maybe
like the first modern world leader since the third industrial revolution, probably, basically.
Yeah, probably.
So Robert A. Whaley saying,
you took it away.
Go ahead, you go.
All right.
When we annex Canada, we're changing their unit of measurement to freedoms per cheeseburger.
As we should.
I mean, yeah. And getting off heroin hurts in the short term too.
Even it
could kill you.
The thing is, if we do annex Canada, we don't have to change it to cheeseburger. It could be like per ounce of syrup or something like that. Just keep it to them a little bit. But you're a part of us now.
It'll be hockey pucks per ounce of maple syrup.
There you go.
But yeah, no. Actually, we should take over the rest of the world. And for 5 minutes, just take over the whole world and just put everything back to Fahrenheit, because Fahrenheit was first.
And we're off everyone's off the metric system. We're using imperial.
In the Pat Gray version, when you're going onto metric, it could be 1,000 miles, could be 1 foot. You don't know. You just never know with the metric system. The metric system doesn't count. And honestly, I do think I don't know about inches and feet, but I do know that Fahrenheit was first. And Celsius came second. So Fahrenheit's correct. Celsius is not. Just throwing that out there. Even though Celsius in a way makes more sense, it was not first.
Fuck Celsius.
Celsius sucks. And even, the metric system too. You want to know why the metric system sucks? Because even though track and field uses the metric system, the mile's the biggest race there. So fuck that. Okay? They took the American mile because you know what? We had cars first and you guys suck. Anyway. My America.
All right.
What's next?
this is like the bulk of our politics. The next is actually kind of just dunking on someone.
Me too.
But we're going into a trade war in some aspect. That's what we just want.
No one deserves it more than this asshole.
Yes. And I specifically brought up this meme because Jim Acosta's out at CNN. This happened like a couple days ago. But Siraj, very funny man, put out the picture of Melania with her fucking Carmen Sandiego hat.
Not even Carmen Sandiego. It would have been hilarious if she would have like Undertakered it and then came up with the eyes. And just looking at fucking Joe Biden.
No,
just looking through Joe Biden doing it.
Yeah, she like actually came out looking like she could pull a Tommy gun out of her vest. But yeah, she takes out a red Sharpie and crosses Acosta off her list. She smiles and turns the page. That every like public view of her recently has seemed like that. She seemed like the one that's really ready for revenge here.
Well, you got to remember, when she was the first lady in the first time, she was the most benign first lady. She was quiet. She had her like pet projects that all first ladies have, but she was not big until the end when they really fucked with her. Yeah. And then she wore that jacket and everything. But it was like, she got messed with for no reason, honestly, just because she was
connection
Trump's
to Trump.
wife.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But it's also, they're jealous because the actual first hot woman as a first lady is a conservative. Because I'm sorry, Jackie Kennedy was not a good looking woman. Everyone likes to say Jackie Kennedy was good looking. Jackie Kennedy was weird looking. Her eyes were a little bit too far away. She was, Princess Diana, I get it. Princess Diana could get it. She was hot. But Jackie Onassis Kennedy, like she
Jackie
was not a great looking woman. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man.
Everyone's
I see
like,
people dress up at Jackie O. And
she was such a good looking woman. It's like, to who?
To John.
That was an arranged marriage. He didn't love her.
No. John just loved everyone. It's in the Kennedy blood.
He did. He just
Kennedy blood, man. You just love everyone.
He really, really, and they get praised for it, right? Like Donald Trump does the same thing, okay? Donald Trump, and I guarantee Barron is already sitting there going through all of OANN, all of fucking the post-millennial. He's 18. They're all jumping on the Barron train, okay?
I know everyone talks about how tall Barron is. That man is fucking tall.
I do. Did you see the meme at the inauguration where they just kept on making it bigger?
Yeah. That was great.
You know what they should really he would be the most self-aware person if he dresses up as Waluigi for fucking Halloween. Because he's so long.
I looked up pictures of Jackie Kennedy because I kind of remembered what she looked like. And she's not
good looking. I'm sorry.
No, there's some pictures where she's good looking in them, and there's some pictures where it's just like,
bring her up.
A lot of it's mid to not great, depending on the angle.
Everyone's like, she's so good looking. Like she looks.
This isn't bad. I mean, it's a little still rough, but
she looks like a guy. She has a male facial structure. Like that looks like a dude. Who told her those eyebrows were okay?
Look, I'm gonna make this argument. No one find any offense from this. But the argument of Brett Cooper looking like Ben Shapiro is completely fucking true. And I know a lot of guys who would say 1 out of 0 or 1 on Brett
Here's
Cooper.
the thing.
So here we look when you can't just say that a woman looks like a guy. I understand it. I'm not
JFK was a better looking woman than Jackie. Okay, I'll put that out there. Number 1. Number 2, what I will say with Brett Cooper, Ben Shapiro's a feminine looking dude. Okay, I will put that out there.
Go down this road.
I'm gonna go down that road because here's the thing: we just knew about Ben Shapiro first, right? So Brett Cooper is always gonna get that comparison, but it's not like Brett Cooper is not a feminine looking woman. She looks like Ben. Ben is a feminine looking guy. Okay. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I want to go through these first. We'll go through. Robert said there are only 3 countries that use imperial. The rest of them are wrong. That's true.
Yes, that's very true.
Piper Niven looked like Carmen Sandiego. Yeah, I remember when she wore that. That she did. And yeah, this is what you're responding to. Eyebrow technology wasn't where it was now, but she's mid.
Mid is friendly. Mid is friendly. I agree with that. I would need a good amount of drinks. Okay. She's not that, and I think maybe it's because everyone's like, oh, she's so graceful and good looking. It's like,
and also, I will say this: I know people who the camera just doesn't love. They just don't love them. So it's a thing.
She should have avoided it.
Camera just doesn't love people. And they might look better in person.
But here's the thing: there's no comparing. Melania is 20
Well, no, I'm not
times the
comparing.
good-looking
I'm not
woman that
comparing the
Jackie
two.
is.
I'm not comparing
Melania
the two.
will go down as the hottest first lady by far. Go look at her. You can find her naked. She looks great. Okay. But it's so ridiculous. Like, and thing is too, it's like, and people, conservatives brought it up when it came to Melania. They were going crazy over Big Mike and everything Big Mike wore to hide her schlong. Melania was an actual supermodel and fashion icon, and they didn't talk anything about fashion. She tweezed her eyebrows in that picture, at least. That's nice.
Like it's a separation of the eyes that fucks it.
No, here's the thing. That is a fucking. They messed with that picture to make her look feminine.
I don't know about that one. You're just going crazy now.
She looks like a dude. Just look at Marilyn Monroe and Aubrey Hepburn of that own time. Aubrey Hepburn was a fucking 20 out of 10. Marilyn Monroe, if everything and everyone wasn't in Marilyn Monroe and we didn't know that, she would have been hotter. I'm sorry. I can't look at women who are.
I'm not going to compare people.
I will. They're the same era. They are the same era of woman.
Yeah, but I'm not going to compare like I'm not going to compare certain superheroes to like Superman, there are levels to this, and I'm not just going to say
yes, like Jackie is fucking Swamp Thing. Okay,
we can. Oh man, that's rough. Anyway, Acosta's out. No one cares about him, even when we have a subject on him. We're not going to stay on him.
Yeah, because you put Melania up. When you put Melania up, we get to hot women.
Nate said prime Monica Lewinsky was hot. Oh, wait, you said wives.
Again, Monica Lewinsky. Here's the thing. Monica Lewinsky is, you start off the night at the bar and you're starting off with a few drinks. You see Monica walk by, she's a 0 out of 1. If you're there near closing time and Monica's still there, she's a 1.
I'm gonna share this right now. A lot of guys at Woodstock would 100% every single time. Every single time. On Hillary Clinton. Young Hillary Clinton. Right here.
Because Hillary looks artsy.
Every single time. And right here, this picture on Twitter, a lot of guys would be like, yeah, no doubt.
Which is that's the thing. Like, see, she's a 0 to me with that one. I think there's a few pictures where she's better.
But I'm not fucking wrong.
Oh no, absolutely
the glasses,
not. The nerdy chick, the nerdy chick
bookcase. Yeah, exactly.
That's what Bill saw in her.
Yeah, 110.
100%. He saw himself. But she is significantly prettier, and even in her witch phase, is significantly prettier than Jackie. I think that Hillary, we know Hillary is a shrill, evil human, so it is hard to say anything nice about her. But even young Hillary, when she was first wife, when she was the first lady for Bill, she is fair.
It's funny because
she's evil.
You saw like the New York Times. Was it New York Times that had like the Cruel Kids Club or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But remember how that one chick was getting put all over the place because of her cheeks? Hillary has similar cheeks right here.
She has the chipmunk cheeks.
Yeah. So I don't know how the fuck we got here.
Bill was looking at her going, I could load up those cheeks.
I don't know how we got here.
All right. So yeah, because we saw Melania. Melania brings that out.
Robert Willie, I was a Sophia Loren fan.
Sophia Loren is hot. So
Sophia Loren, my bad. I don't remember her.
Hill Dog like satanic lesbo stuff.
Yeah, especially now. But
all right, so Jim Acosta's out, like Dave said. Nobody cares. So Jim Acosta, he rose to fame for being wrong and arguing with the president, right? Like the guy rose to fame because leftists thought he was cool because he argued with Trump and got dunked on by Trump every fucking time. They would just not show the part of Trump dunking on him. They would only show on like CNN and MSDNC. They would only show the part of Jim asking the question, and then they would like come back and they would like, or they would selectively clip what Trump said, and they'd be like, Jim got him.
Yeah.
And it's like, get the fuck out of here. He's useless. His show was terrible. From what I knew, so he didn't get fired, technically. They told him they were going to move him to the midnight slot. And, he was taken off of a primetime slot. I think it was like an 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something like that. He had a primetime slot. And the thing is, everyone has been getting fucked up by Maddow, which is crazy. But Maddow is kicking everybody's ass still. She has the best demographic now in terms of the key demo. I think Fox News still beats her in the key demo. But overall, Maddow's winning in that prime time.
We did have our crazy hospitals filled at one point. So
we did. So, I mean, Jim Acosta is not a loss to anybody. He's going to sit there and you know what? Either he's going to go work at MSDNC as a reporter again, or he's going to start a podcast and fail.
Yeah, he'll be like Don Lemon, trying to
Don
do things
Lemon.
on Twitter and not working out. Not full with it, but
He sucks. So let's move on.
no one cares.
Fucking dumbass.
So we're done with politics for at that point. If you guys bring something up, we'll most likely chat on it. But right now we're going to move over to sports. Over here, NFL rumors, who I don't love, but no.
But the story's the story. They're right on the story.
No community post, so I'm assuming it's correct. Matthew Stafford, with an incredible gesture. Oh, why? Like, what is this? What? Just say with an incredible. What? Stop. Okay. A Lions fan sold his autographed Matthew Stafford jersey so he could take his daughter to the Lions playoff game this year. When Matt heard about it, he sent the fan a game-worn jersey he had saved from 2014 when the Lions were in the playoffs. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'll give you that.
I saw that, and like I like to highlight these these type of things every once in a while, because and we've heard that Matt Stafford's a decent dude. Mm-hmm. Even when he left Detroit to go to the Rams, and even after winning, he was still super gracious and was like, listen, I will always love Detroit. Those are my people. It does, like, I just won a Super Bowl, but Detroit fans are amazing. And he's never backed down from that. And to see him kind of put his money where his mouth is, because so many people talk like that, right? Like, oh, I love my former fans. They're great, this and that. But to actually do it, and it's like, obviously Matt Stafford kept that jersey for a reason. Like that was an important jersey to him.
Yep.
Because, game worn 2014 playoffs, I think it was the first time Lions were in the playoffs since like Ty Detmer, years, maybe even before that. It was a long time. And for him to hear about that, find out, and just send it like that, that's amazing. Amazing stuff. You don't hear enough of this good stories, but this is a great fucking story. I love this one.
Yeah, no, it's a nice story. It's good news. You always need good news, but I mean, to be quite honest, if you voted for Trump, you got a lot of good news within the week. So, but this is always good stuff to cover. And Robert coming in, has anyone seen Rachel Maddow and Stephen Colbert in the same room together? They have been bridging the gap between their looks. So I haven't though. So
what's hilarious about Stephen Colbert, which no one would know, but it's true. I have someone that has worked around Stephen Colbert that I'm friends with. He's still a conservative and more than likely voted for Trump.
So you're telling me
it's an act.
No. I can believe that, but you're telling me that this man, while still believing all of that, look, to be quite honest with you, even if he switched and he believed all the leftist things now, to have that fucking vaccine dance and song happen on your show, you have died inside.
He has no morals, but I'm pretty sure
completely fucking died inside.
From the person that I spoke to, he's voted for Trump all 3 times.
Which is pretty funny in and of itself if he did.
If everyone remembers what Stephen Colbert was on The Daily Show, he was the right-leaning reporter coming in to kind of make fun of John. And because John was always more left, make fun of John and kind of give that conservative-esque view.
And the thing is, though, he also did I'm pretty sure it's his show that did fucking Skibbity Biden.
Yes.
He's being he's embarrassing himself nightly. Nightly. It's amazing.
I think he sold his soul. 100% sold his soul.
Either way, even if he switched over to leftist views, just doing those types of things, he sold his fucking soul.
He sold his soul. But it's like, it's weird because like internally, I guess he knows what's right? Like, because he's still trying, but like at the same time, he is a net negative overall because he does have a very, like he has 16 people he sways, but he sways somebody. So it's weird. But yeah, overall, thank you for that comment, Robert. You got us on a nice tangent.
Yes.
Nate, you going, the way the Lions fans treat Matt and his wife, dude's a stand-up guy.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's tough, but it's, again, Matt Stafford enjoyed it. The thing that the Lion fans need to realize, I'm happy for the Lions. Like, being the lovable loser franchise, like the Jets and us, I get it. They did the right thing by Stafford, and he's the first superstar they've done the right thing by.
Yes.
They fucked Barry Sanders. They fucked
Megatron fate. Yeah.
Yes. And the thing is, Barry Sanders has buried the hatchet. They're fine. Mm-hmm. Megatron still loves the Lions. He's always around them. And it feels like something about the fans do draw you in because they do love the fans.
Yes.
Detroit fans seem to be dope.
And real quick, no, she did not. Did you say she died, Alex?
No, I don't think I said she died. I just think that she's, I don't know. Maybe
she did not die. Because I saw this comment and I was just like, wait, did she?
She's 90. I just looked it up. She's 90. So maybe any day now. That's mean. But
you might have said something. I don't know. You're always chatting.
I might have, but no. Sophia Loren is not dead. That is fake news.
Yes.
Might be. I might have just spread some.
Yeah,
But
you might have accidentally, you dummy.
good thing nobody watches this show.
Yeah,
Besides, hey, we have a few guys. Hi guys.
Yes, thank you.
Come here for fake news. We love it. Anyway, someone's gonna clip that.
Yeah. We're gonna move on though from this very, very gracious and great story, to be quite honest with you, to the biggest sports news of the night. While Kanye was ranting on Twitter, which is pretty funny if you saw any of it. But
I saw like a few things they said.
Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers. I actually just went with this Grok AI version of it because it actually covers basically everything in it. I'm going to read it out. The NBA has witnessed a seismic shift with Luka Doncic alongside Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris being traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. In return, the Mavericks have acquired Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick, with the Utah Jazz also playing a role in this complex deal. This trade has left Doncic stunned and has ignited discussions across the league about the future strategies of both teams. LeBron James has publicly reaffirmed his commitment to the Lakers, hinting at a dynamic partnership with Doncic. On the other side, the Mavericks are looking to capitalize on Davis's talents for immediate impact. This trade not only alters the competitive balance, but also affects Doncic's contract eligibility, marking a significant strategic pivot, in NBA team planning.
So quickly, the contract eligibility thing is because he's not eligible for the $365 million Supermax anymore via this trade. So that hurts him. But again, someone posted up a hilarious meme that it's like Luka Doncic realizing all the taxes he has to pay now.
Well, and I saw the video that went around a little bit ago, but when I can't remember what they were celebrating, but Luke had a beer in his hand, and then one of the Dallas Mavericks guys came over and took the beer out of his hand. Because I know there was something going on about them worrying about his health and him being a bit chubby.
Apparently, he's 270 pounds.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
But here's the thing: I thought it was hilarious. Mavs fans brought a casket to the game.
Yeah, I did see that, and I did want to bring this up real quick after Nate. Outside of Vikings trading 3 Super Bowls for Herschel Walker, might be the most lopsided trade I can remember. Yes. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. And like you said, Mavs fans bringing caskets to the game. Someone who's been on our show a couple of times, Stuttering Craig right here. He's a Mavs fan. Very upset about this. Very upset about this. So I haven't seen a Mavs fan happy about it, to be quite honest with you.
You know who the only person that has said something positive was Charles Barkley. He said that that AD going over to the Mavs makes him the second best team in the West, which I think is a wild take because Anthony Davis needs to be on the floor. Him and Kai could do magic together. Don't get me wrong.
If they're together, and Kai has an injury history as well, he gets nicked up and he'll be out.
Mm-hmm. But it's I don't know. So I'm happy because this dethrones the Nets as the worst trade of all time.
Kendrick also says Dallas won in this trade. AD and Kyrie are going to be special. Plus, they didn't have to give up Lively, Gafford, or PJ Washington. God bless America.
I don't know if they won the trade. I think you could the optics look awful. I think you could possibly argue that the trade is even because people are forgetting that Anthony Davis, when healthy, is a top 10, top 5 level-esque player talent-wise.
Luka is top 2.
Top 3.
Top 2.
You go Jokic. Here's the thing: you can put Giannis in there, even though they're having a bad year.
I know, but what I'm saying is either Jokic or Luka. that's who you're putting as the number 1 player in the NBA right now. Yeah, that's it. Their ability is fucking insane.
Shai's breaking in.
He's getting up there.
SGA this year is having I was talking with one of our buddies, former guest Matt Santos, because we were talking about if Jokic, doesn't win, if he keeps this up and he doesn't win, then there's a problem in the NBA. Mm-hmm. But Shai doing what he's doing on the best team in the league right now, them and the Cavs, 2 best teams in the league, but him doing what he's doing, putting up numbers, I think he's 32 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's playing MVP level basketball. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Luka's averaging 28 points as a fat guy. The thing is, I did see somebody analyze it and saying the issue that the Lakers are going to have right now, they need a big. That's number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2, they have 3 people that play no defense because LeBron has slowed down on that. He doesn't play as much defense. Mm-hmm. Luka, we know, plays Matador.
Yeah.
And Austin Reeves doesn't play any defense.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't have that swingman. Rui Hachimura coming back and playing is good. You like Rui. They have some guys that are good, but it's like if you don't have that defense on the outside, then you're going to get eaten up
Which
by
is
good
fair.
guards.
But
The
the
guards
thing
are going to
is,
fucking tear them up.
But the thing is, even with Anthony Davis on the Lakers team, LeBron was still the number one for like who's going to do things. Now
He's the
LeBron
ball
can
handler.
actually rest.
He's not going to.
No, but I'm saying he can let because LeBron does pass the ball off for final shots.
Yeah.
He can let Luka take that final shot.
I think we're going to see Luka play off the ball more than we ever have, more than even when he was with Kai.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be something that will allow him to get a little bit more, like, get more scoring, get more things like that. So I'm excited for it. Now, I do want to share one thing that I thought was pretty cool myself, because friend of the show, and he's going to be a guest. David, I'm taking over real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
He'll be a guest in a few weeks to talk some NBA basketball. But one of my favorite people, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, I commented no sources though, but this was August 25th, 2024.
Yeah, I
Luka
saw this
Doncic
going
to the Lakers is quote is funny for a lot of different reasons, but not impossible. One very well placed NBA fixture tied to both the Lakers and the Mavs tells me it would require absolute chaos to transpire in Dallas, which it's seeming like there might be. Them, the Mavs, missing the playoffs again to start, which they're in decent position, which will be crazy, but not impossible. Lakers would basically have to pay him over $500 million to leave Dallas, I think. So maybe not to that extreme, but the fact that Scoop had this story last year, basically,
yeah,
is insane. And again, people always knock Scoopy. They say he has no sources. Brandon is one of the best NBA insiders in the world. He is, best way I'll put it, and he's going to be on in a few weeks.
So you might want to get rid of some things. Never know what you're showing.
No, whatever. Am I showing porn?
No, you're not. But I'm just saying, I never like when things go off of what you want.
Gotcha. But in the end, when it comes to Scoop, you have the insiders like your Shams and stuff. Well, I'm not taking anything away from them. You have them that, they talk to a lot of upper management. Okay. They get their stories from there. If you notice what Scoop does, Scoop is talking to players. The players talk to Brandon Scoopy Robinson, which is a very different dynamic. So, but we'll have Scoop on in a little bit. Nate coming over here saying Joker, Giannis, Jason Tatum. I think.
And Lauri Markkanen.
You love Lauri, Nate. Lauri's not up there in the top. He's a top 15 player, Lauri.
He's good.
Top 20, top 15 player.
Not up there.
Because you got to think, Lauri Markkanen isn't even the best. He's not better than Domantas Sabonis. I will say that. Domantas Sabonis is a better big than Lauri Markkanen. But I would put Luka ahead of Giannis and Jason Tatum. I would agree with you in that in terms of what he does.
Yeah, my thing when it comes to like players like Jokic and Luka, and this is why like the whole health thing rattles me as to why you'd be worried about this, because there is a certain aspect of their game in creating separation that people just, it's not something that you could just do. It's not something in their athletic ability that makes them be able to create separation. No, they've understood the game to the point where they could be bigger than people that are in a very good fucking physical shape and just hurt them on the court and just fucking hurt them and abuse them. It's insane to watch happen. So that's why I put him in such high regard. That ability is insane.
I love the quote from Luka. I think it was maybe like year 3 or 4. It was like early on in his NBA tenure where they're asking him about like, how is it scoring? It's a different game in the NBA. And he's like, it's real easy to score in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Nobody could touch you. Like scoring in the Euro is much harder because they're physical there. And he's like, in the NBA, it's easy. And he wasn't taking a knock because he said there's different aspects of the game that are different. Yes. He said, there's different ways that we play. There's more technicalities and things
also
like that.
A different way to play defense, right?
A different way to play defense. Yeah. He's like, but in terms of just pure scoring, I can get my spot whenever I want.
And I'm not skipping a comment. I just want to give a satire, just a Jazz fan. I don't blame you, Nate. I don't blame you. But Michael Medellin coming in saying, come on, Mexico. We need the cheap labor. We'll still get the cheap labor somehow.
I mean, the cartels aren't going to give up. They're still going to keep on trying to dig underneath the wall and everything. So
yeah, probably.
But yeah, no. So last thing on the Luka stuff. Mm-hmm. I do think the Lakers ended up winning because you need to score, right?
It's
NBA
is nuke of a trade, dude. It's an absolute fucking nuke of a trade. Giving LeBron Luka Doncic is insanity. Absolute insanity. That's something that you just don't want to do ever.
And the crazy thing is, what usually happens when guys get traded to teams and one of the knocks on them is they don't play defense? You see them working their asses off on defense. And one of the things that has been a signature of LeBron teams is they're organized on defense. And this is one of the first rare teams that hasn't had that organization. So we're going to see. I don't think the Lakers are done. I think they're going to go get a big. I do think they are going to trade for a big, even if it's not anyone like special, but somebody competent, a starting
someone
big.
who can at least be physical and eat glass. That's because if you have scorers everywhere else, you just need physicality.
What about the Nets getting in on a deal and giving them Nick Claxton and getting back Austin Reeves to come score?
It's
because I think Austin Reeves is going to move.
That's what I'm thinking, because if they're going to get rid of Nick Claxton, Nets actually still value Nick Claxton highly.
Yeah.
So they're going to want something back for him.
It's going to be Austin Reeves in terms of a young talent. I think Austin Reeves is the guy that they're going to move because he's the liability now, right? Because you're not going to take Luka off. Austin Reeves is talented enough to stay on the floor as a starter. He's earned that right. And especially if the Nets are looking to move on from Cam Johnson, which all signs point that Cam Johnson's going to get traded. So then you recoup some of that scoring with Austin Reeves, because with Cam Johnson, you're going to look to get picks, and the Lakers aren't going to give you picks. But if you can, you can figure out some way to hose them, because Nick Claxton, you're going to get stuff for him, right? Austin Reeves is a lesser prize than a Nick Claxton in terms of what the Lakers are looking for, because the Nets are in disarray mode. Like, they don't give a fuck.
They're in
give me Austin Reeves. Give me Austin Reeves. Play out your contract and fuck off, right? Unless the rumor that they are going after Giannis is true. If they are willing to stay patient, from what I've seen, that they have all these picks and they could be looking to grab Giannis at the deadline and maybe add another person and go full in to see what it looks like this year. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they could. This is a new NBA. They could definitely try and slide in somehow. They go on a streak. But I think if they can get what they want and grab Giannis, and they got to be a little bit better, though, because if Cam Thomas is hurt, if you're getting rid of Cam Johnson, if you're going to move on from Claxton, which Daron Sharp is playing better, and they have some good pieces playing around them well. But if you're going to do all these things, you're obviously going to want to keep D'Lo as the point guard there, because I think D'Lo will work well with Giannis. But you're going to need another legitimate guy, because D'Lo is not a superstar. Okay, he's a very good player, but Giannis is going to need help. So do you go Jimmy Butler route? I don't know. Do we want Jimmy Butler in the building after what he's been doing? I like Jimmy. I've always liked Jimmy's game. I don't think he's been wrong for most of his career. I think right now he's kind of feeling himself and he doesn't give a fuck. He could retire tomorrow. And I
forgot who it was that said something. It was a former NBA player. I'm pretty sure a former NBA player on a podcast. It said Pat Riley just basically let Jimmy Butler do too much bullshit. Like, he just allowed too much bullshit.
D Wade is the one that said it.
Was it D Wade?
D Wade was there going,
who it was.
This is not the Heat way. He goes even, like, it's apparently Jimmy Butler was like, when they were in the finals, he was staying in a mansion in another state. They were in the finals and they were supposed to be like a bubble finals, I think, in Vegas. And he was in a mansion somewhere else and taking Instagram videos. And basically they said, like, the Heat way, where it was very structured and organized. Jimmy Butler was getting whatever he wanted. And D Wade also said, because I was actually reading about this, I read a whole thing on it. And he said, while you're in it, it sucks. You sit there and you hate it, and it sucks, the whole structure and the demand. But then when you leave, he said, when I went to Chicago, when I went to Cleveland, not having that structure made me, not a bad player, but less of a player in terms of being on my game.
Yeah, and losing sucks worse, right?
And could you imagine giving Jimmy more leeway than fucking LeBron, Bosh, and D Wade?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the wild thing.
Yeah,
and I think it's because the Heat weren't exactly in, like, they were a decent team, but they weren't in the greatest place. And then Jimmy gave them like crazy runs.
Yeah,
I think Pat Riley relented on things, which he shouldn't have.
The article I read, I think it was an ESPN article, a very well done one too. It was a good article, and it was saying, like, that Jimmy was okay with them wanting to make Bam the guy because he's younger, he's talented, he's a superstar, and he's like, I didn't need to be team captain. But what he wanted was a guaranteed extension. And this time around, Pat Riley wasn't giving him the extension, and that's what started all this. Which they said they thought they learned their lesson because they did that with D Wade. They didn't give D Wade the extension, and that caused a lot of bad blood.
Yeah.
It's because of age. Similar thing with Jimmy. So we'll see. Jimmy Butler, apparently he was going to go to Golden State, but that went down because he said he wouldn't sign an extension, so Golden State told him to fuck off. Brian Windhorst reported that right before we went on. So we'll see. Jimmy Butler, the only place he doesn't want to go is Memphis, apparently, which I don't know why he's so mad at Memphis.
That's pretty funny. But honestly, all we're saying right now is the NBA is fucking crazy. It's actually been going downhill when it comes to
it's not a great product.
How it's going, just both in product and people paying attention to it. Honestly, this blockbuster trade is kind of something they needed. Yep. I saw someone on Twitter be like, okay, conspiracy route. They actually kind of wanted this, made this kind of happen because they needed someone like Luka on the Lakers. But to get eyes onto the NBA product, which, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. No. If they really did kind of want to orchestrate that. But Nate G saying Eric Spoelstra is such a good coach. Yes.
He is. He manages
coming
superstars in a lot of ways.
Coming out from being the coach where it's just like, oh, he's just being used by the big three and stuff like that, where that was kind of a narrative around him, to after them leaving and him making the Heat a team that no one really wants to face because they're annoying to play and that they could actually beat you, and showing how good of a coach he is. That's awesome for Spoelstra.
And Nate saying mega trades in hockey too. Yes, the Rangers making the most head-scratching fucking trade to get JT Miller back and giving up. That was a terrible trade for the Rangers. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of good stuff. There's rumors that Quinn Hughes from the Canucks is sitting out with a injury and looks like he could get moved possibly to the Devils, which would be crazy. The Devils are staying aggressive, trying to be in the championship scene this year, which I'm happy about. But it's been a crazy time. The Super Bowl is a backstory right now, which is crazy to think. We have the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah, for right now, it's still going to be huge. I know a lot of people are mad about it, but it's still
really quick. Big news: Travis Kelce did not make the trip to the Grammys tonight. Taylor Swift was gone stag. I hate that. I hate for everyone to know
we're
that
done with this.
All the Swifties need to know that Travis is not the Prince Charming that they thought he was. A real man leaves his profession to go with
Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, where Mary Jane in the movie where Mary Jane is like upset.
I will say this:
for not being at the fucking play when he has things to do.
In a night where Ye's wife is quite literally naked at the Grammys, which if anyone wants to go get a scene, go ahead, go look up the scene where she like reveals just nothing, like she's ass naked, hoo-ha and everything, like not even like she's hiding her vajay. The vagina is just like whoa, airing out. It's fucking someone opened up a can of tuna there, But you look there with Julie, my wife, was watching some red carpet stuff because she's like, I hate the Grammys, but I'll watch the red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, in terms of like the craziness that we've seen outside of Ye's wife, there was a good amount of modesty for like their standards. Like, mostly covered tits, like, just regular gowns, like decent, like I will say, Sabrina Carpenter was like a giant whore in every which way in all of her like performances and everything.
I was going to say, I don't know how much she is actually, but her performances
are very sexually explicit in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But again, she never said she was a kid role model. I will defend Sabrina Carpenter on this. Yeah. She never claimed to want to be a role model. She's not a kid singer.
I don't think I've ever listened to a song of hers, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I will say, like, I agree with you.
One of her songs is about like swallowing cum. Like it is legitimate. Like she makes a song about being a throat goat and like things like that. Like, yeah. Like, so she has never made any qualms about the music she makes. So if you're a parent allowing your kid to go to Sabrina Carpenter, you're a fucking asshole. Anyway, but she actually wore a super like modest dress. It was like kind of like had like a double like, but she was like all covered.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll get up there on stage and rip it off, and she's in her normal skin tight thing, even though she's like a twig, which is the new like thing. Like it makes sense because then they're all Satanists over there, and they're like prepubescent girls. So make all the new artists look like prepubescent. Anyway, but anyway, I saw Nate Mikko Rattanen too. He's every bit as good at hockey as Luka at basketball. Mikko actually has a title.
That's a fair point.
That is good. Yeah, Mikko's a big trade as well. There's some movement, and yeah, the Super Bowl will take over in that, but the NBA is getting their moment. Again, the trade deadline's 4 days away. And we'll be having Scoop on in a few weeks to talk about it. So I'm excited about and all the things going on, whatever Scoop wants to talk about. But yeah, crazy times. Luka in LA is good. And we'll see. There might be some more moves, and we'll talk about them again if there's any big moves. Jimmy's going to go somewhere. Giannis' name has been floated around way too much for safety. So Giannis obviously not happy with what's going on over in Milwaukee. He wants to win. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's just a crazy time all around. But now we're going to move on to some nerd stuff.
Yep.
The first nerd thing, one of the bigger things that's happened recently in gaming, is that Bioware has reportedly lost at least half of its staff, with fewer than 100 people left in the studio, a
Wow.
ghost of its former self. Instead of killing the golden goose, what if you slowly starved it to death over more than a decade? And I mean, really, this started with Andromeda.
Yep.
But it's gotten worse and worse. And, with Veilguard, some people call it Veilguard, whatever you want to call it, Bioware has really outlasted itself. And Bloomberg is reporting that following EA's layoffs and restructuring at Bioware, the studio has fewer than 100 employees, down from more than 200 during the development of the Veilguard. Meanwhile, at its peak, Bioware consisted of 3 studios and conservatively over 400 employees. So this is pretty big for people who once cared about, Mass Effect.
Listen, it's huge.
And Dragon Age.
And I know EA and BioWare just said you're going ahead with Mass Effect, the new one, a Mass Effect 4 or 3 or whichever one it is. But
5. It would technically
5?
be 5. Andromeda's 4.
Oh, okay, so Mass Effect 5.
Yeah.
But could this maybe be a decent thing for them? Because one of the things that we've talked about gaming wise is it's so fucking bloated. You do not need all of that staff, right?
Well, and
you
the
don't
thing
need
is-
it. Maybe 100 staff is a good number because you can make a really good AAA game with 100 talented people.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that, and we've seen this from other companies as well, right? From other developers as well, right? Like Rocksteady and other places, they're not the same as they were.
No.
It's not the same people that made those games that are in those studios. So even though it's made by the studio that made this, it's not the same people. So
well, I mean, you're looking at the people that do wholeheartedly support DEI and now moving on to Bridge. They are not stopping with their motivations in order to try and bring out woke, whatever you want to call it, Marxist, woke, diversity, whatever name you want to give it. But the leftist ideology that used to be in there, kind of, right? It was there for a moment, move on, make a good game, right?
Yeah.
It is there and it's prevalent, it's a story.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to get that. That's not gone, guys. We didn't win. We talked about this a little bit before the show, Dave. The narrative that DEI is gone and we have won and woke is dead is the dumbest fucking victory lap I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to continue this real quick because this was big news when it happened. Those relocations were made permanent following the news of Veilguard missing its sales target by 50%, with an additional 20 plus full layoffs on top of that. That's fucking big.
That's
dude.
Massive.
That's
50% is huge.
It's a Mass Effect. But I mean, look. People can fucking complain about the YouTubers that make the anti-woke content, right? And you can say whatever the fuck you want about them, but they're hitting on a certain nerve, right? There's a reason why people listen to them, because they're hitting on a certain nerve that gamers do not like this shit and they do not want to play these things. And especially because on top of the messaging that was in the game, that was the most prevalent thing that they really wanted to show from the game too.
A fucking trans
Bioware specifically wanted to show that you could have top scars in different things. The character creator was their biggest fucking show off. Instead
for
of the
type A and type B.
Exactly. Instead of the gameplay. So people don't want to play these things. Even you could say it's a minority of people on the internet that talk about things. That's true.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the mass appeal of people, of normies that play video games, they also don't want this shit, and it shows in sales.
And the thing is, one thing that proves that that's almost wrong, though, is Kabrutus's group of 300,000 strong on Steam shows that it's not a small number that doesn't want to see this shit. And the biggest thing is with a lot of these titles, right? With your Mass Effects, with your Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is coming up, which apparently is getting a whole fucking revamp, it got pushed back again. I saw a rumor that apparently Yasuke is out, which is hilarious. It might be.
He's not out.
Or just being revamped. But
there's no way he's out.
These are slam dunk titles that you don't even have to make great, and a fan will sit there and go, yes, this wasn't a great title, but I'm looking forward to the next one to see what they do, right? And to have it crash and burn this bad. Look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty is not great every single time. It's good. It's what you get. It's a first-person shooter, and sometimes they just give you base. You paid $70 for just the same exact game, but different setting, right?
Mhm.
6 was an upgrade. People like the new Black Ops.
Well,
Right? People like it.
on launch, I heard good things, but apparently, I think there's some with like hacking and shit going on where it's kind of really, really gone downhill.
Okay,
Like
and
it's
they
gone really fucking bad.
and
Apparently,
that sucks. But the thing is,
yeah,
but the bottom line is though, their player base is still massive. You're still getting people
yes,
on that every
yes.
single day, bad game or not.
Mhm.
And it's because it's that slam dunk title that even if COD went fully woke and just didn't make a fucking game
Which they
that
kind
was
of did in some
shooting
ways.
people, they did a little bit. They had the trans
You
flags
had
and shit like that.
what you had to affirm
Yeah,
the BLM message. I can't remember
yeah.
which one. You had to press,
I-
like say
and,
okay,
and that did hurt their
it's
sales
Black
on
Lives
that
Matter.
game, and it did hurt their sales in the next game. It didn't. Well, they just kept to a base. But the bottom line is, you can make a bad game in a legacy title and still come back, right?
Mhm.
But if you make a bad game with a terrible message and just make that the whole game, and where it's an unrecognizable game, this Dragon Age game is not part of Dragon Age. This is like the new Star Wars trilogy. This is like all those Star Wars shows, all the new Marvel shows, the new Captain America, which doesn't have America in it. Those are not part of a fandom, right? Those are Disney things.
Mhm.
This is 2024, 2025 BioWare's version of Dragon Age. This
Yep.
is not, fans are going to look back at this and say that game didn't count.
That's why I
That's like
keep
the
kind of
Metal Gear
calling it.
without Hideo Kojima.
That's
It's
why I
not
keep
Metal Gear.
calling it the Veilguard instead of Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Because I didn't play Dragon Age games. 110%, I didn't play them.
I
But
think I
I
played the
kind of
first one
I
or
want to
something.
respect the fandom of Dragon
Yeah.
Age. Should not at least put this in with their franchise. Make
And they
Mass
won't.
Effect great again, says Nate. Yes, yes. And also in terms of culture war, we just had Pat and Ride to save the boys at the Battle of the Bulge, but there's plenty of war left. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and that's a good. That's exactly what it is. There's a lot of battle left. And again, if anyone doesn't know, whenever you hear somebody say DEI's dead, say sure, but do you know what bridge is?
Mm-hmm.
And just have them look up bridge and just tell them to Google bridge DEI. That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
Because underneath, you go on the bridge website. If you scroll down a little bit, it quite literally says we are the bridge from DEI on the fucking website.
Yeah.
So these studios aren't going to learn their lesson.
No,
Okay.
no, they can't. They won't learn their
Yeah.
lesson. They don't want to.
They are leftist. They believe they're right. And they believe that if they just keep pushing the message enough, that eventually either will come around
Mhm.
or will be fucking gulagged. And only their people will buy it. And their whole entire crowd of Dustborn will do it for them.
But they have a little bit here on the decline of BioWare in the past decade. A 2019 Global News report on BioWare's office relocation quoted it as having 320 employees at its original Edmonton location. Eurogamer reported between 80 and 150 developers were working on BioWare Austin's Shadow Realm in 2014. It's unclear how they were distributed between Austin and Edmonton, but a majority would have been at the Texas location. Concrete numbers on BioWare Montreal are scarce. The CBC reported it had just 55 people in 2010, shortly after its formation, but 2017's Mass Effect Andromeda credits over 300 people directly on development, with a
Jesus.
majority of them presumably at Montreal, given its status as lead studio on the project. And these are all like
300
different numbers, right? But they obviously increased with the good games that were happening. They were getting
Yeah.
more people on board. They were able to pay more people. But now, because they're putting out bad product, because people do not want these games and they don't want to play them, and they don't even retain people.
No.
Like with Mass Effect or Dragon Age, these types of games, you could play them for hours and
Absolutely.
hours and hours, and they have the replayability where people will go back and play them again. The retention on these games are fucking crazy.
Yep.
But when you can't bring a person to complete a first playthrough of one of these games, that's when it's really bad.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like if you like again, Bethesda is still surviving off the fact that people still like playing Skyrim. Bad and all, fucking with mods. Because the last few Bethesda games have been fucking terrible. Okay. Morrowind sucked. Skyrim, Elder
Starfield.
Scrolls Online is okay. Starfield was miserable, and I'm happy Heels vs. Babyface fucking torched them and definitely helped it going down. Az is awesome for that.
Az is great.
Az's fucking rant was
Vindicated.
amazing.
Vindicated.
Vindicated.
You're boring.
You are boring. And it's true because they are. And the thing is, it's like everyone's waiting for Bethesda to come back and do something, right? And the thing is, I don't know why we have any sort of encouragement because I wasn't a fan of Elder Scrolls Online. I did not think they advanced Elder Scrolls that much. Oblivion was fucking fantastic. Skyrim's obviously one of the best games of all time. Faults and all, bugs and all, one of the best games of all time. And then they flopped on. I know people like Fallout 4. I didn't like Fallout 4 very much. For what they did with Skyrim, where it was so open world,
A lot of
Fallout
people,
4 felt so linear to
I
me.
would say a lot of people didn't like Fallout 4. A lot of people came back to liking Fallout 4 because Fallout 76 came out, and Fallout 76 was a big disaster, especially on launch.
They fixed Fallout 4 apparently a lot. They did a lot of things, and they fixed 76 a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, Nate say
They've
right
gone
here
back.
saying I still like ESO and 76. Because I
Okay.
remember 76 was a fucking disaster.
Oh my god,
when it
76
came out.
was a disaster.
Yeah.
But apparently they fixed both of them a lot, and kudos to them. But the
Yeah,
thing
that's
is, for
good.
me, if you don't get me initially, I'm going to tell you to fuck off. I have Fallout 4 sitting in my closet collecting dust. Okay,
Yeah, that's fair.
I have my PlayStation 4 connected. I will not go back. I played half of it, and I was like bored. I was bored. I was like,
I do actually want to, speaking of something not getting people initially, I do want to actually go into No Man's Sky, especially after Ben had talked about it highly on this show. It's because it sounded like they did a lot to it. So I do want to go to No Man's Sky. It sounded really fucking good. But I mean,
I keep on hearing good things about No Man's Sky, that they have fixed things and they are not charging people for every little fucking thing that they fixed either, which is fantastic. They sat there and they realized, hey guys, we fucked up. Thank you for staying with us. Here's a reward. We are going to keep on fixing this game, and we will only charge you if it's a major thing that's going to affect something. And I think it's like $20 here and there. It's nothing crazy either.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah. But I mean, look, ESO and 76 or something, right? But Bethesda in and of itself are big single player guys, right? So that's the thing. It's these online things are cool, but their main stuff is supposed to be these big single player exploration games. That's what they're supposed to be fucking known for. So when it comes to them really falling off on that type of stuff, that's not good for the studio, especially when a lot of people's favorite Fallout game wasn't even made by them.
Yep.
Fallout New Vegas wasn't even made by them. So Bethesda is also, I mean, they're not in a BioWare spot. They're not in like a Rocksteady spot.
They can be.
But yeah, if they keep putting out stinkers, yes.
And the thing is, too, you're looking at it, if Grand Theft Auto 6 is successful, if they don't make it go woke, if it's still Grand Theft Auto, we have to be looking at Rockstar being the king of the open world, because their worlds are massive and they're just getting bigger. And Grand Theft Auto 5 playability, there's still hundreds of thousands of people playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online. It is one of the favorite games. People love that fucking game. They love the story too. It's one of the rare games that you still go play for the story, because GTA stories are always fun as shit. So if they are successful with 6, if all of mine and your fears about the female protagonist making it less raunchy, less stereotypical, because the bottom line is, I don't care if there's a female there. As long as you can go pick up a male prostitute or a female prostitute and get laid and fucking kill them after and take money, and every joke is just as raunchy and they're making fun of every stereotype like they do, then it'll be a great game. Okay? Like, female or not, I'd be fine with it. As long as they make it Rockstar, as long as they make it Grand Theft Auto, we'll be looking at them as the king of the sandbox open world, right? Because Bethesda's fallen off. 5 was amazing. If 6 is amazing, Rockstar has to be the ones that take that mantle.
Yeah.
So,
and Nate's saying they did fix 76, but a few things I simp for as hard as Fallout. That's fair.
Listen,
and No
Fallout
Man's Sky
3
is so good now. Yeah, that's all I've been hearing about No Man's Sky, man.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas have earned Fallout as a brand enough charity in order to, get kudos. I think really Fallout 4 was a fall off for me. 76 had so much bad press that I didn't even want to look at it because I wasn't a fan of 4. So for not being a fan of 4, it made me no reason to want to go play 76. Which 76 seemed dope because you're in Washington D.C. and Maryland, and apparently like the map is perfect to a point where like if you play 76 enough and then you go walk around D.C., you know where every monument is. Well, like they were that accurate, which is dope. That's sick.
4 was considerable about that too in Boston. I remember they were actually pretty accurate about Boston and 4 as well.
And that's the thing. They're pretty. Their attention to detail on things are very good at times.
They can be there. They just fuck themselves.
Yeah. Listen, I'm hoping for gaming's sake, I'm hoping that a company like Bethesda will kick out all the bridge and DEI people and just say, you can believe in it. Just don't fucking put it in our games. Let's just make a game comparable to Skyrim. Okay. Like that is the level. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, right? Is because 4 and 76 might have failed at least on launch and stuff like that. I don't know if 4 necessarily failed, but it did drop people off. That is a sentiment in people that play Bethesda games.
Starfield fucking crushed them.
But that's the thing, is those games didn't fall off because of the messaging in them. Those games fell off because they just weren't as good as previous ones that Bethesda put out.
Telling you right now,
Starfield fell off because it wasn't as good and it had all that messaging in it.
And all Starfield needed to do was just give you the ability to fly between planets. I'm not kidding. And just be attacked by fucking pirates or be able to see random ships and interact. And the fact that they were too lazy to do that when they're known for their gigantic open worlds, right?
And,
if I want to fast travel, I can fast travel. But if I want to just fly, why the fuck can't I fly?
Remember correctly, all like the landing and the taking off or loading screens too. Generic. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Because
Generic.
I haven't played enough of the game because I started it. The Outer Wilds, which I don't know if Nate's ever played it, or if anyone who's watching has ever played it, but it's fun at least to start off. But in that game, you have to literally land your fucking ship. Like that is not easy to do,
which is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, yeah, honestly, for me, I feel like if they would have just given you a function where you could just fly in between planets and you have to avoid things and you can get in the space battles, like mini battles there, people would have sat there and still been like, yeah, the messaging sucks. Gameplay might not be great, but I could do cool shit.
Yeah.
The fact that it's just like, go place.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they did the same shit as Fallout. Well, yeah, you're walking places, but it's linear with Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It's an open world that feels linear, and nothing bugs me more than unless that's the design of the game, right? GTA is an open world that's supposed to be linear. You can't unlock things unless you do missions. It forces you to do the story. That has been their way since the beginning of GTA when it was a top down. Okay. Like that has just been their style. That's, I don't know. We can rant all fucking day about that.
Yeah. Instead, we're going to hurt ourselves. I know this is probably
I've already hurt twice.
Yeah. I know this has probably already been seen by everyone, but I just want to call our attention to a movie that came out about a year ago that has now 13 Oscar nominations. In fact, I'll just pull this up first.
And it won Cannes Film Festival for Best
Emilia
Picture.
Perez has 13 Oscar nominations above Schindler's List, Return of the King, Godfather Part 2, Godfather, Citizen Kane, Life is Beautiful, Shawshank Redemption. 13 Oscar nominations for what is basically a Netflix movie. It didn't release in the US. It released around the world. It was made by French people about a Mexican cartel leader who wants to become a woman after he has killed many people. And this is good for him. This is good because he's
and then he wants his family back. So as a woman, he decides to become
their aunt,
an aunt, nanny,
their aunt
type of thing. He's their aunt, and then he gets back into their lives. And Selena Gomez is the wife of the cartel killer.
Yeah,
and the best thing I heard. So I watched Gary Nerdrotic's video on this, and he said it's Selena Gomez, who actually could sing, decided not to sing.
Yes. But I did want to show this because while the movie looks absolutely fucking awful,
this is hilarious.
I actually like bad things because they can make me laugh off of how bad they are sometimes. And this movie, some of the musical numbers in it are so fucking funny to me because they're so bad. So we're gonna watch this.
I feel
if
like
you haven't seen it.
I actually hurt for Zoe Saldana in this, even though she's in it. And here's the thing: I think Zoe Saldana is a decent actress. I think she's pretty fucking hot. I actually hurt for her the fact that she did this and was maybe proud of it. Go ahead.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see. Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina. Is it for you?
For me?
What would you like to know about it, madam?
I want to know it all. What is the protocol, the techniques and the risks?
Well, pause this real quick. So just to preface, Zoe Saldana is the lawyer of the cartel boss who wants a sex change. So that's why she is going to find out for him. I guess we figure out, I guess they tell you why the lawyer is going for him. But she's in Bangkok, Thailand right now as well. So Go ahead.
How much time do you need?
Mammoplasty.
Yes.
Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Rhinoplasty.
Yes.
Laryngoplasty.
Yes.
Mammoplasty.
Yes.
Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Rhinoplasty.
Yes.
Laryngoplasty.
Yes.
Control laryngoplasty.
What is that?
Adam's apple reduction.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you, Liam loves movies. Not leave it to the French to make something fucking awful and act like it's artistic and some kind of beautiful thing. I love it. I love it because it makes me laugh. But yeah, no, this
It hurts.
right here has 13 Oscar nominations.
It hurts.
And
And this is just not even the worst one either. Like there are some really every time Amelia Perez's character opens up her whatever. Because the thing about Amelia Perez, the titular lead character, the drug lord, cartel lord, the actual actor is a trans male to female who starts off playing a male and then becomes literally a trans female and still looks like a guy. It's just a guy in drag the whole time, and then tries to sing, and it's fucking terrible.
it's rough, man. It's rough. But
Every
that's
time,
what makes it funny. That's what makes it so funny because they
It's-
put this out there like, oh, we're so powerful. This is so good. Only
and the
French
trans
could do this.
community hates it,
Only the French could. Everyone hates this movie. No one likes this movie.
except for the fucking Oscars. 13 nominees for
I
this.
I love every part of it. And the person that he brought up, that Alex brought up, the guy that's playing a woman in real life and also playing Amelia Perez in this movie, was also up for Best Female Actress. But now he is also getting canceled because of past tweets where he was actually kind of based. But
Can he be up for both? Can he be up for Best Female and Best Male?
no, they
And
wouldn't.
can
do
he
that.
argue because he played a male in the movie?
It wouldn't be progressive to do that. But either way, yeah, I just want to share this because that's dumb it was. That's all I want to do, and because it makes me laugh.
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to just claw your eyeballs out, just go watch Amelia Perez. I don't plan on
Netflix,
fucking
pretty
watching it.
sure.
It is. It's a Netflix movie.
Yep.
Go watch one of the 90 Adam Sandler ones that are terrible on there, and they'll be better than this. But yeah, no, but it's like, again, it's par for the course, and this is where everyone needs to sit there and it's like, we won. The fuck we did, right? This thing got 13 Grammy nominations and
Oscar.
whatever it is. And that the trans bitch is gonna win something, okay? Because they're so progressive, definitely gonna win Best Actress. 100%. I can see that. And I think it's also up for Best Movie.
I love every part.
It
of it, man.
won the Cannes Film Festival for Best Movie.
I love every part of it.
Like
man.
it's amazing. But honestly, I feel like Rings of Power is probably going to be up there for like Best Drama. So
well, something that could be given an award later after it's done being made is
no,
Aragon.
no,
How do you feel about this, Alex?
terrible. So right here, it's from Culture Crave.
Look,
Yeah, I know,
right here.
Blabs. Laugh my fucking ass. Stop. I love Blabs. Thank you, Blabs. Aragon, #Aragon creator confirms a live action D plus series is still happening via Christopher Paolini. So I am a massive Paolini fan. I've actually tried to get Christopher Paolini to come on the show. He was nice enough to correspond back and just be like, I have no time. Thanks. Basically, fuck off. But nice enough to even respond back. Appreciate that. I'm a fan of basically everything Christopher Paolini's ever done. All of his books, his whole entire Inheritance cycle, the new one, Murtagh, not No Man's Sky. I'm just reading it right there. God, what's the name of the fucking space book that he made? But he made two, the Fractal Verses there. That's his space. So basically a love letter to all the greatest space odysseys of all time. And he's an incredible writer. Now, if anyone watched the Aragon movie, it's at the level of fucking Amelia Perez. It is that bad. It is fucking terrible. It shows nothing of like the talent of the story. Them making it into a show, the best thing we can hope for is that it's like Percy Jackson show, because Percy Jackson show I apparently heard is pretty damn good.
Other than like all the characters being swapped,
the characters being swapped are shitty, but the overall like story, the play, the acting itself is actually pretty good. I've heard
still not Annabelle though, right?
it's not bad. No, yeah,
not.
I get it.
Yeah. I won't get in.
Those are the type of things that turn you off right away. Same thing as How to Train Your Dragon, right? But that's the best I can hope for from this, that they race swap everything, that Saphira actually has a fucking afro and it speaks like a sassy black woman. Like, that is what I can hope for, is that it becomes something decent, but it's D plus. They're gonna
Yeah.
fuck it up.
I never read Aragon, but I don't like the way this dragon's looking at me.
It's Saphira. Saphira is a badass bitch.
I don't like the way he's looking at me.
It's a she. Don't fucking.
I don't like the way she's
disrespect
looking
her.
at me.
I mean,
Looks
she's
weird.
She's an asshole.
Looks weird.
She's awesome. She Aragon is just a little bitch, and she toughens him up. Bottom line, that. But it is an awesome story. They fucked it up once in the movie, and now they are going to make it a terrible show. I'm gonna let's see who the acting like. Here's the thing: the lead actress that was in the movie and stuff, it was Alexandria Daddario, I believe. So that was like the best part of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. She's the best part of a lot of movies.
Yeah, she's a smoke. So it's like, no, wait, what was it that? I'm trying to think of where Alexandria. No, she was in Percy Jackson. I mixed it up because I said Percy Jackson. She was in the first Percy Jackson movie. That's what it was. Aragon, no, I think Aragon had some no name for Arya and for the guy. I don't think they had like no names for most people in it. No, Daddario was in Percy Jackson. And again, a woman is hot when she has like D-cup tits and you look at her eyes first because they're that fucking nice. Like her eyes are mesmerizing and then she's fantastic looking. I digress. But this is going to be a fucking disaster, Dave.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope it comes out. It's terrible, just so I could have that shoved in your face. And
I'm excited for BioShock.
Me too. I want that. That's the thing. I want it.
You like it when your favorite things are destroyed.
Yeah, it's funny. But we're gonna move on from your everything that you love being destroyed.
It literally is.
Maybe we're jumping the gun. It might be good. You never know.
No, it can't be good.
It might be mid. It might.
No,
it could get mid.
Plus.
It could get mid.
It's
anyway,
D plus. What are they gonna do?
We're gonna move on to something that's gonna make this show like 2 hours now. To the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
You watched the full thing, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, because I also watched the full thing.
Really good.
Overall, I thought this is actually one of the better PLEs, pay-per-views.
It was an A+ pay-per-view. Honestly, it was an A+ pay-per-view.
In a while. Even the Women's Rumble, which wasn't really hyped before this at all, they barely had any promotion for the Women's Rumble. It was pretty fucking good.
So you want to laugh? So I turned it on.
Yeah.
My daughters were on the couch. My wife was there. And obviously my wife has an older brother and he used to beat the hell out of her. So she used to watch WWE a little bit. She was sitting there first off going, they have 30 women to be here. And I was like, yes, they have a deep female roster that's talented outside of Nia Jax. Yeah. And then
the only thing, and real quick, right before you say this, the only thing that some of the women's roster suffers from is what some of the men's roster suffer from, where their in-talent work is good generally, but just they don't have the personality. But go ahead.
No, that's true. And they're developing it though.
Yes.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
But where was I? Oh, I was watching it with them. And after I watched it, the girls watched it. And I think what was cool is my daughters are 6 and 4. I threw wrestling on. To see a bunch of women, in shape, doing the slams and everything, diving, doing big spots, really good spots in some of them too.
Yes.
They immediately went on my older daughter's bed and started eliminating each other over the top ropes. It was so cool. And just started and they asked, do they really hit each other? Like, no. And I kind of showed them a little, showed them. So they started pretend hitting each other and slamming each other onto the bed. And they would take turns eliminating each other.
Yeah.
It's it had that effect, which I don't think it's had that effect on kids for so long. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Where my 6 and 4-year-old automatically saw it and they liked Charlotte Flair. They were really I like Io Sky. They loved Io Sky as well. And they were asking who's Julia? I'm like, Julia's there. Roxanne Perez is there. They were watching. My one girl loved Roxanne Perez. Loved Roxanne.
I love Rox.
It was great. And they found my hatred for Nia Jax and they're just we don't like her either, so it's fine. They could stay in the house. But it was cool just to how much they enjoyed it. And then also my wife looking up every once in a while, I was like, they're better than they used to be. I'm like, yeah, they're not just hot anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not just hot anymore. They're actually talented wrestlers. Really cool to see Natalya coming back, Trish coming back, Nikki Bella coming back. Those are all cool things. Great moments.
No AJ Lee, which that was kind of hyped up by by the internet wrestling.
And CM Punk's the
community.
dickhead, and he just fed into it.
Somewhat. He also did say that she was at home with Larry, like on the Pat McAfee. So he wasn't lying in some aspects, but
Which is
it's just
disappointing because
could've
AJ
worked
Lee
a
would have
little
been
bit.
big, but they had some
Yeah.
great things with,
Alexa Bliss's pop was fucking huge.
because she
was
before she was Liv Morgan before Liv Morgan, right? If you really think about it in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, she was Liv before Liv, the smoking hot blonde that kind of had like that, that little crazy tick to her, right?
Yeah, her goddess character is really good.
Dude, with the jacket she came out with the Fiend for Life, or with the
Yeah, that
R
was
for
really
friend,
cool.
that was a
really
great
cool.
tribute.
Yeah. Nate's saying final three. No, hold up. Before that, I thought the women's room was a good opportunity to have a spot with Trish and Charlotte. Yeah,
Agreed.
yes, they could have had one there, but Trish did her get her licks in, and she's 50. She looks incredible for 50.
You got to
God
remember though,
damn.
she was a fitness model beforehand.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like it's that's her lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's just insane because like she still can hit the moves and everything. Anyway, final three in the men's was an abomination. Logan Paul is a lame ass game. We'll get to that. Punk, Cena, and Jay. If Jay had to win, which given what he said he shouldn't have, we just had Jay Gunther versus Jay yet again. We'll get to it because I want to treat everything
We'll
a
do
little
all
bit.
this.
And Alexa Bliss was awesome. She was, and I'm happy that she's returned. I'm happy that Dave Meltzer looks like an idiot because that's pretty funny.
I was sad that she got eliminated as early as she did, though. I wish she would have went longer.
I think they're setting up a Liv versus Alexa angle, which I'm cool with. I'm fine with that.
Which is great. I thought that whatchamacallit, Raquel, God, what's the one that's with, she had great spots. And she looked like a powerhouse.
She can be good at times. Sometimes the Raquel, yet again, doesn't have much of a personality, and sometimes her in-ring needs a little bit of work. But she can be good.
The Lash girl, what's Lash's name? Lash is awesome.
Lash Legend.
She is
fucking
huge.
Yeah,
but you know what though? She's athletic as can be.
Oh yeah.
She was great. I thought
she's kind of like a bigger Bianca.
Yeah. Bianca and Naomi did great work together.
Yeah, as expected.
Watching Bianca get her hair pulled at that moment, I was like, oh, that hurt me watching her get her hair pulled. Yeah. But, how do you feel about the end, Charlotte getting the win?
I'm fine with it, especially if you're going to have Charlotte and Roxanne be there at the end. They're either setting up Charlotte versus Rhea Charlotte versus Rhea again at WrestleMania, or Charlotte versus Tiffy. And both of those are going to be good fucking matches. So I'm fine with that.
High flying Charlotte versus high flying Tiffy, or powerhouse Charlotte versus powerhouse Rhea.
Yeah, but I just think either of those are going to be really good matches. I'm perfectly fine with it. And you should, because look, I'm a full believer in Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez is going to be fan-fucking-tastic. She was already good in NXT.
Yep.
I've heard backstage interview basically seems like she's been called up completely now to the main roster.
She needs
so I'm fully ready for what she's going to be, and having her being in the final two with Charlotte shows that she's supposed to be there.
I mean, they took the belt off of her. She's not the NXT champion.
Yep.
So it's the time to do it. You get her up there.
Yep. You got Julia now.
Yeah, and Julia's a fantastic wrestler as well. The spot with her and Io Sky was amazing. Watching those two go at it, it was very stereotypical, and I like the stereotypical WWE. It's like, oh, we're both Japanese. Let's both do Japanese things to each other.
And they also know each other though. They've wrestled each other many times. So like, and watching the different styles clash in the ring, and you got that in the men's Royal Rumble as well. But watching the different styles kind of go against each other, and they had the Royal Rumble stuff where sometimes they're waiting for someone. They're just all in the corners. But overall, the women's Royal Rumble did pretty good. There's only really one big botch spot, honestly, where Nia Jax is a part of it, but we're all hanging off the edge and stuff like that. It took a little too long. Was a little bit too much of a mess for her to get those eliminations. The one corny spot
is when they were all beating up Nia, and
that's normal. That's a corny spot that always is a thing.
But here's the thing that was bad about it. I'm not faulting Nia for that because Nia took her spot and she came up. The women were terrible in their reaction.
Yeah,
they had bad reaction there. I put that on the women involved.
It looks better when, honestly, because Nia is big for the women's, but like it looks better when it's like the fucking Big Show doing it, right? Because the Big Show's huge, like absolute monstrosity type of person.
That's better
Nia's
when
close,
you have
but
like
she's not fair.
But that's better if you would have like Lash Legend or Raquel because they're tall, so it's the height that kind of does it more than the actual size.
Also, and Stephanie Vaquer was awesome. Yes,
she was really good too.
She's always awesome. She's fantastic.
I forget who
having her in NXT with Julia, and NXT is actually doing fucking really well.
The women's division is really good, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
so
but overall,
really quick though, I saw that there was which I love the quick thinking, and if you like WWE enough. They're really good at supporting each other, even though they're in there.
Oh yeah, when there was
a wardrobe
Yeah.
malfunction,
Yep.
and quick thinking Liv Morgan grabbed her and threw her into the
Well, yeah,
turnbuckle
she just hit her into the
hit
turn.
her, held her, basically
Mhm.
helped her hold up her shit as she's punching her, and then
Oh, no,
knocked her down.
no. She just hit her over there and then went over. So the camera focused on her doing something to someone on ringside.
And then she was
Lyra
able
didn't
to
have the
fix her
camera
top.
focused on her. She was over in the corner. That's what happened. But it shows how much Liv Morgan has grown to now. She is a fucking top talent. She knows what she's doing in the ring. Her ring work has gotten
She wrestles
very
like a
good.
vet.
Yeah, exactly. So it shows, and also kind of shows what she is in the locker room, because like
My
that's
back hurt
something
when
you
she
do
was
when
on
you
the
know.
apron the whole time. Fucking just skull crushing finale, people. Not skull crushing finale. Fucking her signature move where she brings them
Oblivion.
down. Huh?
Oblivion.
The Oblivion. She did that like she got two people out there. And my back was hurting watching her on the apron doing that.
Oh no, that was a code breaker. She was
Yeah, the
hitting.
code breaker. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a code breaker. Yeah. No,
Great spots though. Great spots.
overall, I thought the women's was a pretty damn good Royal Rumble. Alexa
Yeah.
Bliss got a huge pop. Maxine Dupree with her little spot against Ivy Nile
Dupree.
was
Yes.
awesome. Like
Yes.
the pop she got for that was awesome. Watch it. Like the crowd was good for this. The Indianapolis crowd was generally good here.
Indie crowd was they knew where their marks, they hit their spots, because the thing is the crowd needs to hit their spots as well for these events to be big, right? They need to know if it's a knowledgeable wrestling crowd, they know what they're seeing.
Yep.
So they understand when. Like you said, the Alexa pop was as it
Huge.
should be. She is
Fucking
the
huge.
because here's the thing, she is the returning best female superstar, right? When she was out for the most part, it was her, it was Charlotte, it was Rhea really on the come up.
Becky.
Rhea was
Becky.
there.
Becky
You
was
know,
up there.
hmm?
Becky was up there.
Becky was up there, but it was like those,
She's
like
one
they
of
were
the
the ones carrying, right?
Mhm.
The women's spot. And now, even since Alexa was gone and Charlotte's been gone, there's so many more women that have jumped in that are now, at least talent-wise, skill-wise, they're going to put on some amazing matches with them as well.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Really good.
Really good job. Especially, like I said, especially for not much. This spot was fucking crazy.
Yes.
Jordan Grace. She's now in the WWE. God damn, I
Just
forgot
signed.
so many things. Yeah, just signed. Jordan Grace coming in, and that fucking pickup and that slam was wild, dude. Because Piper is not you can see, not small. So Jordan Grace doing that is insane.
And I actually like Piper now. So you are talking.
Yeah.
Give me Piper over Nia Jax any day in terms of like the bigger woman. I think she moves better. I think her spots are better.
She does move.
She's a more skilled wrestler.
Yes. Yeah, I can agree with that. But and of course, Nikki Bella coming back at 30. She did fine. She was Nikki. she did what she did. She's her normal self.
And I give Nikki Bella and both Bellas credit because they started off as just the regular hot women, and towards the end they were good wrestlers. They weren't.
Yeah,
you're not amazing.
you're okay.
They're not Natalia. They're not Trish, because
Yeah,
Trish is
dude.
a legitimately good wrestler.
Mhm.
They're not Lita. They're not AJ. But they were good, that they weren't a liability in matches anymore. They were missing spots left and right when they first started.
Mhm.
Towards the end, AJ and Nikki had some incredible matches together towards the end.
Yeah.
Where obviously AJ's talent pulls them through, but Nikki was hitting all of her spots. So I give him credit.
Mhm. And Charlotte back. Charlotte gets the win. I know some people are upset about that, but I'm fine with it because of the matches it creates. You're not getting much better matches in WrestleMania. Jordan Grace is awesome. Not a fan of her China phase. That's fair. Considering who her dad is, we're a little surprised they brought her back. Nikki, that is. Fuck. I can't remember that. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was.
Isn't there a lawsuit going on or something?
There was something, man. I can't remember it.
Yeah, there's something going on. But you know what, though? It's Triple H seems to be the cog that gets everything turning.
Yeah, he's really getting people left and right to come back and do shit.
Well, I think it's because who else knew the industry better than him? He's a part of the clique, right? So it's like we've talked about the clique before, and that carries weight, right? Because you obviously have Sean down at NXT doing things like the clique is still running wrestling. Right?
Do you remember the Atreyu video of right side of bed, first Bella exposure?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And Johnny Ace. Johnny, God, why am I fucking... I don't know. I'm off that right now. I can't remember that shit.
I do remember that video, and the smoking fucking hot chick was a Bella. Yep.
But we're going to move on from that to the next match right here. The WWE Tag Team Champions, DIY, defeated Motor City Machine Guns with help from the Street Profits. I thought this match was overall pretty good. Unfortunately, it really came as like the kind of low match, even though I thought it was well worked by both teams.
What tough is best 2 out of 3 fall matches always kind of feel that way in general, though, because the first 2 pinfalls are usually kind of meh.
Yeah,
And these were better. Don't get me wrong. They hit. Sometimes they're crappy. They hit their finishers to get these, right? And it was a good situation. But in terms of tag matches, how often do you get pins, right? Like
yeah,
that's why the tag 2 out of 3 is weird
yeah.
because they're always in there. But it was in
I thought it
terms
was a pretty
of
good match.
good spots, good choreography.
And
They hit their marks. They were
And
good.
I like the setup with the Street Profits,
Yep.
coming back because Angelo Dawkins was faking being injured with the crutch and he hits him with
Fucking
but I
whacked him.
like them coming back and kind of and being this type of heel type characters because
Yes.
they're trying to get more tag teams to be a fucking thing.
Yep.
The tag team division doesn't have a lot of tag teams that are big and doing things.
Nope.
So they're trying to set up angles and make tag teams an actual thing that matter.
Mhm.
So I'm happy with that. Like that's
Yep.
a fine ending to this. You give their heels their win off of a random kind of intervention, even though they don't like DIY either. So I'm fine with it. I thought the match was good. And I just thought, even though it was kind of a low match comparatively, especially with the crowd was kind of reacting to, it was still a good match because it still got reactions and it still did its job.
It did its job. It had good moments. It had memorable spots. This isn't it, like you said. Even though it is the low, gotta remember there's only 4 matches at the Rumble with the women's Rumble being involved now too, right? Because you have 2 hour plus matches that bookend.
Yep.
So your middle matches typically would be lowish, even though this next match is probably the match of the night.
This is the match.
It's a match. It's so good.
Yeah. Then I mean, like, it started off doing well. It started off doing well. They went into the crowd and stuff like that, and Cody chased Kevin around a whole bunch of stuff like that. They got in. They did a whole like mini ladder stuff, which I thought was pretty fun. I thought that was a good idea of like doing something a little bit different in the ladder match. They just kept hitting each other with that mini ladder, and then we got to the big ladder spots.
The
which
question
fucking
is,
insane.
After this match, if you're a wrestling fan, how can you just not be a fan of both guys?
Yeah.
Because they're both incredibly skilled wrestlers. Obviously, everyone knows Cody, how good he is and how his rise. Kevin Owens continues to prove, and Triple H said this because I watched the post thing on Peacock and everything. Triple H said flat out, KO is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best to ever lace him up. And Kevin Owens, we've talked about this before. There are some guys that are important and relevant regardless if there's a belt around their waist. There's some guys that need a belt around their waist to be important. Kevin Owens never needs to have a belt again in his career, and he will always be a headliner. He's at Seth Rollins level. There's a few guys that don't need belts to be great.
Yeah.
And he's it. And he can lose every single world title match he ever has from now on, and he will still be one of the top guys.
Yeah, and I do want to hit this real quick right before we keep going on this match. Weakest tag team division ever, Motor City and War Raiders. I feel like everything else is weak. For right now, yes. I do like DIY, but right now, like, the tag division's not great, right? But with the Street Profits now getting back involved and stuff like that, you could build something. You could get something there. It needs more, but right now you're kind of trying to build something. So I like that they kind of involved them and made that
Nate,
thing.
I do like that. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre should form the 2-man and add Kofi and Xavier. Make it a 4-man stable because they're fucking pissed about everything. And make it those 4 feel disrespected. And now they're coming in and just wreaking havoc. Those 4 going around wreaking havoc, where I think that could be really cool.
That could be a thing. And Cody versus KO is 5 stars. Yes.
If you could give it 6, it would be 6.
Yeah,
honestly.
but it was. I mean, and the selling was fucking perfect. The selling from Cody, especially the selling from KO here, where not only he hits the ladder, but he rolls onto his head, stays in that position, and then kind of tilts over, and he's out the whole time. Cody poses over him, comes back, poses over him again, which I love because it's like KO has bothered Cody so much. We had that promo with Cody and CM Punk where CM Punk's basically saying the title makes people, it changes people, man. And Cody's understanding. Cody's saying he's understanding that. And, he's yelling at KO before this Alabama Slam, like, this is what you want, like shit like that. I love that. We're hinting at the possibility of Cody finally breaking and turning heel, whether it's over keeping the championship or losing the championship. People forcing his hand to do shit like this, making Kevin Owens bleed and lay on the ground while he poses over him with both belts. Fucking fantastic, dude.
I can't wait For Stardust to come back.
He's not good. Stardust isn't coming back.
What would you do? That would be a hilarious
American,
scene.
yeah, hold up. American Made is really good. If the Creed
Yeah.
brothers have their time in the ring, they can be really good.
They can
They're
be really
fucking fantastic. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, keep going.
I would love for them to do a spot though where Cody's like starting to crack, and then like he's sitting in a mirror, and all of a sudden like you see the purple like face paint
That'd
coming
be
out,
so dumb.
and someone walks
That'd
up
be
and is
so
like, "No, Cody, no,
That'd be so
anything
fucking-
but that, no."
That'd be so dumb.
even if it's like Goldust, if it's like Dusty comes out and is like,
Jesus
"Never
Christ.
again, Cody," and then just walks away.
Either way. But like this, everything about this rivalry has been great.
Yes,
I don't know if this is the exact stamp on it. It probably is because of how it ended, but you never know with WWE.
well, we'll
They
see where
might have
KO
one
goes because he did that moment with Sami Zayn.
He's going to be
with Sami
fucking
was
gone
out.
for a minute. So, and this is also
He
what
did that moment with Sammy where it's like we're best friends still, and you're my only. And
what's
Sammy's
Sammy going to do now? Because he was out there. He's right in the picture. He
Yep.
was out there. He was checking on the both of them. So, what is Sammy going to do now? Because Kevin Owens is going to be out for a while. They basically showed him as being half dead.
KO will be out for a while. Cody couldn't do the post presser. I think Cody. I think it was always the plan, but I think both guys are legit hurt. I think there's some bones that were broken here. There was
Yeah.
something. I don't think
Yeah.
it's like torn like ACLs or anything like that, but I think it's going to take. Cody will be back. I think if he broke a rib, he'll be back in a few weeks, right? Because they come back. They're tough guys.
Not even. He might be back soon. He
He'll be
might
back.
be back really
Here's the
soon.
thing: they just don't put him in any real wrestling matches. He cuts a
Yeah.
few promos for a few
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
until he's mended, right? Like he cuts some stuff, and maybe they do some like number one contender things around him, right?
Mhm.
That's how you kind of get guys back to health because
Mhm.
Cody's a gamer. KO, I think these guys are legitimately hurt, and I think they put their bodies on. And
They beat the fuck out of each other.
there's no way you don't get hurt. And the thing is, too, it's like in these pay-per-view matches, where unlike on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, there's a lot of the fake punching, like I talked about my daughters.
Mhm.
To sell it, they do some real hits, and they know they potato each other. They know they do it
Mhm.
just to sell the realness because fans are paying for more realness, right?
Yeah.
So you get more of that, and these bumps, they know how to take them. They're professionals, but they still
Doesn't hurt.
hurt.
It's still going on that ladder, man.
And these two are consummate professionals, right?
Yeah.
Everything they were doing in the safest way that they could,
Mhm.
but they had to make it look real.
Mhm.
And I think it's cool. Oh, there's like one thing that I thought was cool. Real quick to go back, we'll get to the men's rumble. Maybe I'll talk about the men's rumble. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Either way,
Now we didn't get to it yet.
like you said, Nate, this is a fucking 5-star match. I can go back and watch this match at any fucking time, to be quite honest with you. I love the spots in it. I love the selling in it. Like, it was so good to see something like this happen on this pay-per-view because like you needed to pull this shit out. Like this needed to happen because I know some people weren't exactly the happiest with Cody's run. And it's just like, what exactly is going on here with them because they already just fought not too long ago. Well, it doesn't matter that they already fought just not too long ago because they put on this fucking match.
And the thing
You
is, I
didn't
give
get
him that too, because as much as I like Cody in the ring, some of
Mhm.
his promos have been dry. I
Yeah.
will say that.
Yeah.
And his promos have been carried by people he's feuding with.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Roman Reigns cut the better promos when him and Roman were going at it. Sometimes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some of the emotional ones, Cody was good at, but
Mhm.
for the most part, Heyman and Reigns carried that in terms of promo wise. KO is one of the best promo guys in the business right now, so his promos are always good. He overshadows anyone he's with in a promo, so
Mhm.
that's not Cody's fault necessarily.
Yeah.
But Cody needed this, and his promos running up to it were good.
Yeah.
Cody did some good promo work, things like that.
No,
I want-
the cracking motif, the power breaking him motif that's going on right now, really fucking good. I hope they continue it, and I hope they do the heel turn. Because
I
like
want to
Nate,
get Nate, go
yeah,
ahead.
I like Nate saying heel Cody's next level. He's mega heel on the indies, and it was so good. It's like heel Cena, the best version, but WWE is reluctant because all they do is sell merch. And the thing is, he's gonna be able to sell merch to the fucking heel too. KO had to be hurt after a brain buster on the ladder. Yeah, back of his head ate the ladder. Yeah, it did.
So here's a question: if you're gonna make heel Cody, do they bring in a version of like a Bullet Club type of thing? Because that was best heel Cody was Bullet Club. When he was going around to all the indies as Bullet Club, which Bullet Club is everywhere, right? There's someone from the Bullet Club in every single promotion.
And the thing is, though, is that I find, especially if they are going to go heel Cody in some way, I think heel Cody is the best way to justify him keeping the championship, by the way.
Absolutely.
Because it's him, like, understanding that him being the good guy, he can't keep this being the good guy. Things are going downhill and a type.
He's got to
He
do
can't
what he's
keep
got to
all
do to
control.
keep it.
He's got to do to keep the championship that he's fought so hard to get, that he lost at WrestleMania, went through that hardship to go and get it. So now he has to become the bad guy in order to fucking keep it. To make his father's legacy still relevant and his legacy still relevant.
And then you can
that's
even
the
sit
type
there
of
and
shit
go
that
back
could
and be
really
like,
work.
and then you can go back and be like, you know what? I'm the American fucking dream. I'm what everyone aims for, and do what his father did, where his father started off as the American dream, became the American nightmare. You can have Cody become, I'm not the nightmare anymore. I'm the American dream. I did it. I'm winning it. I deserve this. I'm what all of you want to be. I am.
Yeah,
That could be a really good spin.
But like that is what could justify not only a WrestleMania win from Cody, but like a WrestleMania win in a full fucking turn. Like, because I that's what it seems like they're hinting at, the possibility of some kind of storyline like that.
And that would be perfect if they have Cena take the belt from him.
And he's giving you big ups right here.
Yep. Cena takes the belt from Cody before WrestleMania, and Cody goes on a fucking rampage, and you have good guy Cena, who had a little bit of a mean streak in the press conference, where in the press
He didn't
conference,
want to. Yeah, he said
he cut a great promo where he was like, I'm not asking. I am in the Elimination Chamber. I've been the workhorse. I put everyone over. And Triple H came on and said, John Cena can call whatever shot he wants. He's in it. Which was cool for, Triple H playing like the straight shooter as the boss is awesome. He's so good at it. But, there was a mini mean streak in Cena, but I feel like having him take the belt and have Cena still be the babyface and pushing Cody to the edge, where it's like, I'm the star, like, and that could break him.
Yeah.
And then at WrestleMania, heel comes out, beats the shit out of Cena, ends Cena's career there, or whatever, ends Cena's run 17th.
Yeah.
And they could do whatever they want after WrestleMania with him and Cena, but that could be like the culmination, right? Where Cena gets the belt from him somehow, and then he just kills Cena at WrestleMania and becomes full on Cody.
Yeah. Either way, I just like the storyline that they seem to be cooking with Cody, especially because, like, the babyface run is all right, but it's not like what it could have been cracked up to be, right? Nate saying before he left AEW, he was teasing heel. The crowd already turned on him. It was heating up. Yep. And I've been dying for Dr. Thugonomics since 07. I don't think
we're getting Dr. Thugonomics back. Here's the thing.
Dude, if they let Cena go heel for a little bit of this, that would be awesome.
He had a little bit of mean streak.
I know.
He in that press conference, he said, I'm doing something different. I'm not taking any questions. I'm just going to put a statement out there and then I'm gone. And he didn't take any questions.
What?
He flat out was like, hey, I've done everything for this company. I said I'm here in it for fun. That wasn't fun. And I'm not asking permission anymore. I am in the Elimination Chamber, and I don't care who he said, I'm going to give the other 5 people a chance to start building on my legacy now by talking about me.
Oh, that's pretty fucking good.
Flat out was like, guys talk about me all the time. I'm going to give them time now to build on my legacy because I'm in Elimination. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
It was really good.
That's
heelish.
If they could turn final Cena run into heel Cena, I deserve this kind of guy, that's a pretty good run. That's a pretty good idea of doing that. But either way, 5-star match. I'll probably go back and watch it at some point again. I'm not going to lie to you.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I do want to give a shout out before we get to the Royal Rumble. Congrats to Triple H for Hall of Fame. Going in solo, not as DX. That was really cool to see, him going out there. He didn't know. Shawn and Taker come out and they tell him he was obviously surprised.
Yeah.
Good for Triple H. He deserves it. He should have been in solo years ago. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time. A guy that doesn't get enough credit during being overshadowed by The Rock, by Stone Cold. He was right there with those guys. A multiple-time champion. Great championship runs as well. So good for him. The Cerebral Assassin definitely deserves it.
Yeah. And Nate saying it's FU, not the attitude adjustment. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
And I'm pretty sure, honestly, I think Pat McAfee calls it the FU.
He probably does.
I think he calls it the FU. I don't think
Pat kind of says what he wants on commentary.
Oh my! I love it when he was, dude. He's the one that
he himself was saying, "Holy shit!
Holy shit! This shit's crazy." He curses on ESPN. You think he cares about WWE? The guys on ESPN going, him and his whole crew is like, this shit is terrible. Like, I don't know how Pat McAfee gets away with what he gets away with, but I really appreciate him.
He's goofy. Anyway, final match, the big show right here, the big main event. won by main event Jey Uso, the men's Royal
Yep.
Rumble. And this has caused quite a stir. Him just winning it caused quite a stir. But I mean, this was a star-studded Royal Rumble, and I thought overall it was fucking good. I thought overall this Rumble was actually pretty damn good.
The
You
last
can
20
have-
guys were all main eventers.
you could say whatever you want about how it ended, but I thought even like most of the spots in there were good. Most of the things that happened were really good in this Rumble. Joe Hendry, obviously, right there on the screen, he got a huge fucking pop. It was
As he
awesome
deserved.
to see him. But you know, like everyone had a little bit of something. Apparently, there was some issue with Drew's
LA Knight
outing.
and Drew, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's Knight.
We're
or Paul.
suspecting LA
I'm not
Knight.
sure if it was Knight or Paul because they were both in the kind of middle of the ring. But either
Yeah.
way, apparently there was something there. I don't know. Could be a work. But
Apparently it's not. From what I read, he was legitimately angry over in the gorilla room and was like screaming at some of the executives in the gorilla
yeah,
room.
yeah.
So,
We'll see though. We'll see. Like I said, I never.
so this
trusted
is
him.
one
It
thing
comes
I
to
want to
wrestling.
talk about because Braun Strowman was kicked out, and I forget who got thrown.
Finn.
Finn got thrown, and
Well,
Braun basically caught him into
Well-
the table. And this is just one thing that I love. Like, if you're just watching and you're casual, that just looks like a guy getting thrown and a guy in the wrong place, right?
what I think Braun was trying to catch him.
I think he was trying to, but no, I think he was softening his landing. I think he was always going to let him go. I think he was just because Braun's not going to catch him. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like anybody. Braun wants to kill everyone. But I think he was just softening his landing because Finn takes bumps. Finn's a tiny guy. He gets thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
But that was one of the cool moments. Who was it? Braun Breaker threw him?
No, who the fuck
forget-
threw Finn?
I don't know if it was Braun or not. Or was it Damien? I think it might have been Damien. 'cause
No,
Damien-
it wasn't Damien. I don't think Damien was in the match at that point.
No,
I can't
no.
remember. Real quick,
regardless, I just-
before
Go ahead.
Triple H's reign of terror was a problem. I love Trip, but his reign of terror is still so much good story for it. He did
Yeah,
have a reign
it
of
was
terror.
great.
He did
But
have
it
a
was
reign
just-
of terror. It was hell.
But it was just, I just love that spot of, if you know what you're watching, Braun Strowman's supposed to be a big tough guy that wants to kill everybody. And he basically saved Finn Balor from taking a terrible bump from 10 feet in the air once you're up there. Like, and those are the cool moments that you see, like with Liv Morgan, with Braun Strowman, that they are there to help each other and protect each other. As much as it's fun, they take bumps.
yeah,
I just like those cool moments to see those.
yeah. But this is
Oh my
also
God,
really
I just
fucking
he
funny
died.
because like Speed coming out, like Akira Tozawa, first off, getting fucking just destroyed by Carmelo Hayes. Feel so bad for Akira.
I feel bad for
but
I
but-
show Speeds in there in fucking Crocs.
Speed coming out, he helps Braun push Otis over the ropes, get Otis out. Speed then does a backflip, and Braun decides to fucking kill ISHO. Speed
with
did
the
not
way-
take a bump. Speed got hit.
thing
Speed did
that-
not.
The thing that's crazy about it is Braun Breaker didn't have to do all that he did. He could have just speared him. He went off the ropes twice
no.
as
That-
fast
that's
as he
his-
could.
That's
and he,
his signature spear.
I know, but you didn't have to kill ISHO Speed. And apparently ISHO Speed wants to come back and do more. I don't know how. Because again, I'm
He got
hearkening back to
fucked
Triple
up,
H
dude.
over at the press conference. He was talking about this spot. And he goes, we deal with celebrities all the time. He goes, we talk guys, people like they want to jump off a ladder, they want to jump off a turnbuckle, maybe take a
Mhm.
chair. He goes, I've never heard of anybody that wants to take a full-on spear from Braun Breaker and still want to come back and do work. He's like, I give ISHO Speed a ton of credit. He hit his head hard. I'm pretty sure he had a concussion.
Oh, it looked like he could have gotten a concussion. Like I said, he didn't take a bump. Like
No, he not.
I don't know. If they definitely showed him how to do it. He fucked up. He took it on the side and everything.
Yeah.
He landed.
He probably
wrong.
got scared.
Yeah,
When
he
you
landed.
see Braun Breaker coming at you full fucking speed, ready to eat you,
Yeah, which-
okay? Listen, that bloodline that is part of Braun
Yet
Breaker
again,
does go crazy and tries to kill people in ring. He's a
Yeah.
Steiner through and through, okay?
but yet again, like my sentiment with Roxanne Perez, which I think she's going to be fucking big women's wise. Braun Breaker, he's going to be fucking huge. His ability in the ring is insane. Just watching him work is so much fun.
As long as he doesn't go crazy like his dad and his uncle.
Yeah.
If he doesn't let the Steiner get in his way, he will be fine. That's it.
And Nate saying Strowman took 1,000,002 hip bumps and went to the hospital for brain injury. 15 days later, he's in the Rumble. Love the attention to detail. But
They
he
mentioned
is,
it too.
he is the monster of monsters, Nate. He's one big SOB.
And then he eliminated Fatu, which was nice.
Yes, yeah.
Pretty quickly, too. He came in there and just fucked Fatu up.
Nate saying, I don't want YouTube streamers in WWE unless it's a Quest of Boys tag team. I mean, that'd be fun. But, you know,
I will only tag team Liv Morgan or Alexa Bliss.
you're wrong. You're wild. Anyway, I understand.
Actually, Mommy too. Mommy's her.
I understand the sentiment, but I will say this because, like, I don't necessarily love streamers being in there, but I also step back and I'm like, you know, celebrities have been a part of.
They're the
wrestling all
popular guys
fucking
because
time.
Kai Cenat was there too.
Yeah, so like that's a part of where I'm like, you know, they're just kind of doing the same thing they've always done, except they're just actually going for who the big people are now.
And here's the difference though with iShowSpeed. He's a legit athlete, right? The guy is not. He's not
actually.
like
It's insane how athletics.
He's a very athletic individual. It's quite literally like bringing the poles around and stuff like that. Like Logan Paul has proven he's a good wrestler. He's a very good wrestler. He's competent in the ring. He doesn't put people in danger. And he's, you know, he's been a good addition. Having iShowSpeed come around, Bad Bunny's been really good. Even though I think Bad Bunny's music is shit, he's been really good in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, if you can get, and the difference is with these celebrities didn't want to get hurt because they had to go do movies and stuff. These streamers, iShowSpeed gets hurt. He makes fucking millions of dollars talking about it on stream, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't mind doing this because what he does, he sits in front of a camera, he fucking talks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different world that
but
they
like,
can be more interactive.
But that's the thing is, it's like, even you could not want iShowSpeed in there, but this spot was fucking. I think it was hilarious. I don't think, like, I can't see how it's not funny.
One of the biggest memes on the internet.
And then throws him out. Otis catches him and says, "Ah, fuck it," and throws him onto the commentary table.
Dude, the fucking, and again, the thing is too, like, you see it after he hits him. You see, like, again, you watch him going. I think Kai was fucking out because Braun goes to, you see Braun Breaker say to him, like, with Speed, Speed was out because he goes to me, goes, I could see him saying, I'm going to lift you now. And then I think, like, Speed woke up as he picked him up. Like, I think he told him, like, the spot that was coming up, like, I'm picking you up now.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up. Like,
that was a huge spear, man. That was a huge fucking spear. Obviously, we mentioned Joe Hendry. I'm happy for the pop he had. You know, the whole collaboration with TNA is so much fun already. You know, it's only going to get better.
One of my favorite things, though, is when the Hardy Boys were tag teaming with Hendry, and they came out to the fucking Hendry
dance.
Song?
Yeah, they were putting the song.
Dancing, they were fucking dancing together. Like, that's all I think of whenever I hear Joe Hendry. And he's a great entrance. I'm happy here's the thing, too. With the TNA acquisition, they can't change these guys, which is nice. Because all of the clout that they're getting from being these good wrestlers and other promotions, like Hendry is Hendry. His theme music is his theme music, and that pop that he got was well-deserved.
Yep. And that's one of the things that's kind of hurt WWE and some of their people is they changed their theme music too much. Like, Finn came out, no one knew what music it was because they've been changing his music, and Def Rebel fucking sucks. And I'm pretty sure Def Rebel's not part of them anymore now, which is good. But, like, a lot of music, when it comes to Royal Rumbles, the music is what matters because they hear it and people know who's coming out. But when they don't know and they have to see, then it's a bit of an issue.
It is. And the thing is, too, it's like, I'm sorry, guys. Who gets the biggest pops? People with songs, most of the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, CM Punk will never not get a massive pop because the moment you hear, it's wild. Cult of Personality.
You just hear the static and you know it's CM Punk right before Cult of Personality.
And you have Cena, like everyone just goes crazy.
Cody
and then
Rhodes. Everyone says, "Whoa!"
He screams Ecuador. So it's like when he screams Ecuador, we're happy.
But real quick, Nate's saying, I agree Logan is a great athlete and a good wrestler. I can't get past him being a little piece of shit. Understandable. But I'm supposed to buy Kai Cenat. I don't think he can take me down on my worst day. Well, that's the thing is just like, you know, him, because I'm pretty sure you're referring to Speed instead of Kai. But the Speed helping him like do anything with Otis. Braun did all that fucking work. Speed just like, you know, picked up a leg. Like that's all he did.
Speed's in Crocs. I give the guy credit. He went out there and did all these spots in Crocs.
Yeah. But Def Rebel is absolute shit. Bring back Jim Johnston. Yes. Jim Johnston had mid-carders with banger intros. Yes. So I completely fucking agree. But
I agree.
We need to move on to the ending of this Royal
Well,
Rumble.
really quick, I just do want to say, like, they do need to bring back music from bands. Like, get it going. Okay.
Either
like,
music from bands or music that sounds like it could be from bands.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and the thing is too, it's like the Hardys is still a free to use
Yeah,
song,
which is awesome.
which is hilarious. Like we could go, the Hardy Boys intro could be our intro because it's a free use song. Jeff Hardy just said they heard it one day and he just started doing his signature like rock out, and they're like, all right, there's our entrance music. Like, that was it. But you just think of like the best theme songs, Edge, when Metalingus comes on, like everybody knows that it's Edge.
Yep.
Like
You think you know?
and even Matt Hardy when he had freaking Alter Bridge with slapping a tornado.
Yeah.
Like was that, no, it wasn't Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge is
Well, Alter Bridge
I
is
forget-
Edge. Yeah.
I forget which one.
Remember.
I forget who does a slap a tornado.
Yeah. Big rumors there's interest in Kai. Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, Kai
I mean, he'll be
Cenat was
fucking
there.
cruiserweight, right?
Kai Cenat was there. So
Yeah.
sorry, I can never get past. Back in my day, WWE Anthology and for WWE Forcible Entry were Billboard. I'm
Fucking
sorry.
forcible entry.
Who named Forcible Entry? With it must have been Vince McMahon going, haha, they'll never get me. Ha
I
ha.
love it. I love
Like,
it.
as he's doing forcible entry to half the women he works for. Anyway.
Anyway, we'll move on to the end of this Rumble. The end of this Rumble obviously caused a big stir. The final three were Cena, Paul, and Jay. Especially after, I think the final six was Cena, Paul, Jay, Rollins, Roman, Punk, which is an insane fucking lineup in general. You take Logan and Jay out of there anyway, it's the same lineup, but everyone together is still ridiculous. But, you know, tends to happen. Logan gets eliminated. Everyone's thinking
here's the
this team
thing.
wins.
I will say this. Getting Punk, Rollins, and Reigns out the way they did was really smart. It was a good spot. I
They
thought
went
it was
right back to the old
spot.
Shield hate.
Yep.
Which great fucking picture. Whoever was on the camera at that time when they had Rollins.
When it faded in and out.
Roman's on that corner.
I think I put in our group chat, like that cameraman deserves a raise.
Yeah.
It was really cool with Roman sitting in the back, basically stalking Rollins.
Yes. The old Shield hate came out, and that's one of the reasons why they got knocked out of the ring and stuff like that. And then Logan got CM Punk after CM Punk made fun of Kevin for losing to Logan, if I remember correctly.
And then CM Punk also is the dichotomy of CM Punk being supposed to be a Heyman guy.
Yep.
And he should have, and in all reality, he shouldn't have gotten Roman out if you're a Heyman guy, but it's every man for themselves. And like you said, then Logan getting rid of Punk, it was a good spot. It really was. And then the outside stuff going on, giving the three guys in the middle time to rest up.
That fucking stomp from Rollins on the Roman was insane. Not the one on the stairs, the one before it, where it looked like he basically put both feet in the back of his head.
Which I think was a miss spot, to be quite honest. I think Roman was in the wrong spot.
Maybe.
And I think that he just
it made it look more vicious.
It did. It did. And I do. And again, Paul Heyman's amazing.
He gives a finger to Heyman and it goes in.
But even Paul Heyman, because you hear Paul Heyman screaming, going, "Are you trying to kill him outside?" Like hamming up from Heyman's always good. He's so good. Seth Rollins giving him the finger. Seth Rollins becoming the new Steve Austin, giving everyone the finger. I love because he gave CM Punk the finger when CM Punk came back. He needs to. Here's the thing. He already steals he got the pedigree from Triple H. He needs to just take the middle finger from Stone Cold. KO might have the stunner, but he can get the middle finger. And then he needs to start, and then he just needs to do a fucking eyebrow raise and steal that from he could just and he'll just become Seth the Chimera Rollins.
Ridiculous. But you know, we have Logan get eliminated, and then first off, when the final three were there, I think it was in everyone's mindset, okay, Cena's winning.
I thought he was.
If not Cena, I think most people probably thought Logan was going to win. Jay was the outlier, which is funny. But
well, it's because if you really think about it reasonably, Jay just had his shot against Gunther.
Yeah.
So it's like, why should you give it? And he lost in a great match. I thought it was a really good match on Saturday Night Main Event. I thought him and Gunther put on a good show. And everyone's like, okay, he got his shot. He's in the final three. Good for Jay.
Yeah.
Either you're going to put over John and he's going to go to WrestleMania that way, or like WWE likes to do, just piss the universe off, give it Logan his spot, let him enter into the championship scene now, which would have been fine. That he could have cut some great promos.
Yep. And then John Cena gets him up for the FU right on the edge of the right on the apron.
Looked awesome. I thought he was going to do it.
Gets off of it, pushes him off. Cena absolutely fucking stunned, gets in the ring and hugs him, gives him respect, but then he goes on to cut a bit of a heel promo under post pressure, like you said. But Jay gets his big ass win. There's a huge fucking celebration that happened in the post show. But I mean, like Nate's saying right here, Jay winning got ratioed, and he said, "I'm a Jay guy, but we all wanted Cena. Nobody wants Gunther versus Jay again." But
Does he go after Cody Rhodes?
well, no, he's going to go after Gunther. He said he was going to go after Gunther in the post pressure.
Well, no, he said that. No, he said he wants Gunther, but he said, but then I'm looking at it. He's like, even though me and Cody are friends, he's like, I'm kind of looking both ways, going, eh.
That's right.
He did kind of hint that he might go both ways, which
He's
that's weird.
Gunther.
No,
I'm
you
pretty
don't go
sure-
both ways, Jay. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure he's going to go Gunther. You never know. They could look. I understand the sentiment of not wanting Jay win. I understand all the arguments of it, and I agree with a decent amount of them. But the one, and also real quick before you miss this, Cena must surpass Rick, which
He must.
he will.
I think he's going to.
But what I actually like about this is the unpredictability of it. The absolute fucking unpredictability of it. Even though Jay is so goddamn over, the unpredictability of him winning this Rumble is something that's actually cool to see from WWE.
Yeah.
Because we just don't see this shit. We talk about wanting title changes on normal shows and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Talk about all this stuff, wanting these things to happen that are kind of random, that'll just throw a wrench into what you think could happen in wrestling. And this is the type of thing. I understand not wanting to see Gunther versus Jay again. I don't really want to see it again either. But like Alex just said, we might not see it again. There's a possibility that we don't see it again.
And who's to say someone else doesn't get added into that fray from now until WrestleMania?
Exactly. So it just the unpredictability of it is what makes me like it.
And also, I'm gonna add into this. How many times of wrestling fans have we seen guys who are so over, and then WWE kind of gives them their little moment, like he gave Jay, tried to give him a title, and then he's gone, and then they mid card him again, and they give him like an Intercontinental US, right?
Yeah.
How many times do we see that guys are incredibly over and then they basically don't get used?
Mhm.
This is the first time in a long time that they're taking advantage of Jay Uso, who is possibly the most over guy outside of LA Knight, because LA Knight is so incredibly over. He controls a crowd. He just, every time he's in there, his promos, he just needs to point and it fucking happens, right?
Yeah.
So, but Jay, his entrance, they cut to break every single time Jay comes out, and the place is still fucking rocking 5 minutes later. Okay.
It's
He is the
insane.
most over superstar in WWE right now. So to take advantage of a guy that is so over and maybe even giving him a belt, yes, do I want him to become a better wrestler? Yes. But we do have to remember his skill set is limited because he was a tag team competitor for so long. It was all doubles. It was all unison. He needs to get a few more things. What does he have? He has a super kick, which he overuses. I get it. He overuses the super kick
Mhm.
at nauseum. He has a Samoan drop.
Mhm.
He has a hip check.
Yep.
He has a Rikishi hip check.
Then he has a splash, and he has a spear, not a good spear,
a shitty spear. He needs to
shitty
stop
spear.
using the spear.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a massive skill set.
Yep.
Granted, he needs to get more. And and the thing is too, the best guys, what do the best guys have? They add the generic stuff, or the generic.
Mhm.
They get a DDT in there. They do a fucking
Like
Russian.
something.
They
Yeah.
do a Russian leg sweep. Like
Yep.
they do some other things just to add to their repertoire. It doesn't
Yep.
always have to be a big move.
Yep.
So, and someone needs to get in Jay's ear and just be like, do some basic shit, dude. Like
Yeah.
The Rock had an
Honestly,
elbow drop
if
as
he-
his finisher.
yeah,
Stone
yeah.
Cold used to tackle you and just fucking punch the like it were minor little things. The Bronco Buster was massive, right?
Like he pulled out I can't remember what the fuck it's called, the Hurricane Rana, but from the back.
He did the Hurricane, which was a cool
I
spot.
can't remember what it was, but it looked good in the Rumble. But it's just like doing different things. Even
He's
if you started off
athletic. He
like
needs
a
to use it.
traditional wrestling, like a grapple kind of routine where you start off with like just a fucking headlock, going behind, doing certain things. Like even if you do that, make it not just a normal Uso match where it's just like, oh, super kick after super kick.
A submission would help Jay. If Jay
Yeah.
develops a submission finisher,
Mhm.
because the thing is, the super kick is, here's the thing, and that's the problem with the WWE now. Their biggest problem is finishing moves are cheap. And there's a lot of moves that are typically like, you didn't see many super kicks because Shawn Michaels was there and the Sweet Chin Music was it. You can't, and then that diminishes the Sweet Chin Music. When everyone's doing a super kick, the Sweet Chin Music is, while it's Shawn Michaels, you're looking at it going like, everyone does it. And it makes the same sound, the same effect, the same everything as Shawn's,
Mhm.
right?
Well, Not really.
That
Sean
one to
has-
KO was
Sean-
incredible.
Sean perfected.
Did
That's
you
why
hear
it's so
his
good with
quote
Sean.
when they ask him like, do you measure it up? And he's like, no, I actually try to go 2 to 3 inches deeper than I think to make it look good. He's like, it's up to my team, not to my opponent to make it look good.
Yeah, like Sean really perfected the super kick and how it sounded and how it looked and everything he did afterwards.
The
too.
presentation before
it's
it, though.
incredible. Yeah,
When he's up against the
incredible.
rope holding it and
He's
just
ready, tuning up the band. It's great. Real quick, Cena's return has been a little weak. Waits until February, starts last year, taking 4 weeks off before he goes to Elimination Chamber. Yeah, it has. He said he was going to be a full-time guy, and he's not.
he's an old
LA
man,
Knight.
guys.
LA Knight, which Alex brought up, who's still over as fuck. Still, somehow. Even though he really hadn't been pushed like he should be. Still over as fuck. And he needs his push. Just like Jay has, he needs his push.
Here's the thing, though. With AJ Styles coming back, is there room for LA Knight? AJ needs to be right back up there. AJ is a main event guy.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult. Anyway, don't forget Stone Cold before his injury was the ringmaster and is basically an all-encompassing wrestler. That is true.
He had
That
the sharpshooter was his second finisher. It was a stunner.
well,
it was a sharpshooter.
Stone Cold was a fucking he could do everything. The man
He
was
could.
technical as fuck.
He
Especially,
could.
especially before his injury, he could do everything.
And that's why him and fucking Bret Hart had such amazing matches.
Yeah.
Because it was sharpshooter versus sharpshooter. I remember watching I think it was a WrestleMania where they had a match and it was a sharpshooter versus sharpshooter. And I think Bret got the better of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the bloody face.
Was
it's
it
the
WrestleMania
bloody
or was it
face
SummerSlam?
moment.
Was it WrestleMania or was it SummerSlam?
It might have been SummerSlam, but that's the moment where Bret has him and his face is fucking
Yeah, and he
blood
doesn't
everywhere.
tap. He doesn't tap. It's a big Lord thing.
Doesn't tap. He
He doesn't tap.
out.
Passes out. Yep.
Yeah, and
Is
but that is one of the biggest moments in wrestling history is him versus and he hits the sharpshooter before that. People forget he stunned Bret, sharpshootered him, and then Bret reverses it, gets him and this is after they're all fucking bloody, and then gets him in a perfect sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing is it's like there's so much going on in WWE. Like I know Nate, you share this sentiment. Like, man, I wish Chad Gable got such a fucking push where we could see him in the ring doing so much with top guys because of how good of a goddamn wrestler he is.
yeah,
Like talking about like Bret and stuff like that. You'd see technical wrestlers, people who could do crazy shit in the ring and just look so good doing. Chad Gable is one of those guys. You want him to get that push. But there's so much going on in WWE, and I hope they get LA Knight up there. I hope they get Chad Gable up there. But I don't hate this because they're not up there. That's the thing.
I'm disappointed in no Nick Nemeth in the Rumble. I'm disappointed in no Jeff or Matt Hardy because again, TNA they brought in Hendry obviously, so TNA is fully there, right? Like they are there. I'm disappointed that we didn't at least get them there. Here's the thing. We've seen Jacob put on a good match. Like I said, I thought the Saturday night main event match with him and Gunther was a good match. Was it a 5-star? No. Was it a good championship match? Yes. They did everything they could. I didn't think they cheapened the finishers that night because it was Jay got his in, Gunther kicked out of it. It was a championship. And when Gunther hit his, it was over. Okay. Which I'm fine with, right? The dominant one wins off his finisher. We'll see. I don't want to see Jay versus Gunther again unless they add somebody else. And they need to get the belt off of Gunther and make it a triple threat. Okay. They need to do something like that.
Yeah.
Where it becomes not just a Jay and Gunther show or make Gunther work for it to get back there, right? Make Jay interfering, make it interesting somehow.
Or give it some fucking like if you give it like some kind of hardcore stipulation where they beat if we see them put on a match where they could use things like Cody and KO did, they might be able to do something special.
Kind of like a false count anywhere type of thing.
Yeah. They might be able to do something special that's different from what we've been seeing from them.
Yeah. So, just a normal match won't work.
Exactly. And before we end this out, Nate's saying, Chad's my favorite. My wife watched the Rumble with me, and I was explaining that Chad could stretch 90% of the guys in that ring with it. Yeah. That's the thing. Like I said, man, I share the sentiment. Chad Gable, watching him is fucking incredible. The same thing like the Creed Brothers tag team.
Yep.
Like watching them is awesome in the ring. It's just they need to be there in order for that to happen.
Chad is putting in his time. And he's putting in his time, and he honestly, that his stable is good. I like the stable he has going on there.
Yep.
I think it's a good stable. I think you could start something real interesting with American Creed and them because they're both trying to do that whole entire movement, right?
No, who are you talking about? So American Made and
American Made, yes.
American Made and who? Because Chad is with the Creed Brothers and I.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry, no.
They're doing something. I can't remember the fucking angle they're running with him right now. Oh no, they're running it back with Otis a little bit. At least they were showing something like that. I don't know if they're doing that full thing. Either way, No, I'm sorry. He's pissed off about luchadors or something like that.
He's always mad about something.
But those are fun matches with him and a luchador. Like those are good, and he needs to win though. That's the thing. Chad needs to win matches.
Well, the Creed brothers need to get in there. I think the girly men ones, they're gonna beat the shit out of them first. Pretty something.
Oh, Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly. Who
Yeah.
Honestly, I think those are two good wrestlers. Their
They're
gimmick is
actually
just
pretty good wrestlers.
terrible.
They're actually pretty good
Their
wrestlers.
gimmick is terrible.
Yeah.
Like they're never gonna get over as that, but their gimmick is terrible.
Yeah.
Nate G's saying he's Kurt 2.0, shoot tough, and he's a good actor.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think they need to make him more than Kurt 2.0 though, because I think that's gonna get dry. I think you could start off that way, but I think Chad needs to do something more because we've seen Kurt before.
Mhm.
Right? We've seen that dominant wrestler, and they could have went that way with Brock, right? Brock is one of the best wrestlers of all time, too. College phenom, but they just made him a monster. They need to give Chad something more than just a really good Olympic champion wrestler.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that before.
Yeah.
And they had Chad jobbing on Speed today.
To be fair, no one watches Speed. Did you job if no one really saw you do it? so
No one watches Speed, and they're doing another one too, like exclusive or something, where it's going to be more.
That's not.
evolved.
Those are people like trying to get into NXT.
It's what NXT used to be, basically.
Yeah, but Tough Enough kind of was in some way.
Yeah. Okay, but we do have to go. We're at 2 hours and 18.
Yep.
Which we knew we were going to go long.
Yeah, I said this at 1 hour and like 30 minutes, and we were going over 2 hours with WWE.
So overall, Dave, final impressions of the Rumble.
I thought this was a fantastic pay-per-view. I thought it was really, 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 really fucking good. One of the best ones they've had in a long, long time. And I that's a really good job by them. Really fucking good job.
Who's in the chamber with Cena?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Are you kidding me? That's a tough question. To be quite honest with you, that's a really tough question. Because I don't know where the fuck they're going to go with this. Oh, man.
If you're looking at...
I think Knight could be in it. It depends. Because Knight might still be mid-carding. But I do think
it's going to be Logan Paul. Because you want to look at guys that are legacy building, it's Logan Paul.
Logan, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre.
What about Randy?
Randy's hurt. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be in it. I don't know if he'll be back by then. Maybe it'll be like part of
Roman.
That's what I'm saying. Part of what we saw right there in the last part of
those 6
Royal Rumble. Yeah, except
Jay.
Yeah. So Cena, Logan, Roman, Punk, Rollins.
True.
And
Drew or LA.
And Drew. That's it. I think that's probably it.
That's a hell of an elimination chamber too.
That's a good elimination chamber if they do it. I don't know if it's going to be that, but I think it could be that.
And the beautiful part is though, the stable of superstars they have right now that you could put in there and shuffle out and not be disappointed. Because here's the thing, Dave, they could take Roman, Punk, and Rollins out and make them do their own thing. They don't have to put them in the chamber. They could go do their own thing.
And that's what makes you trepidatious of saying it's going to be those 6, because I don't know if they're going to be working them for something else and having other people in the elimination chamber.
The angle that Cena's taking of have those 5 build their legacy off of mine.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking it's Paul. That's why I'm thinking it could be Logan Knight, because Logan Knight some
LA Knight.
Logan Knight. Some like young upstarts, right? Some of the better young guys.
Yeah.
Maybe even like you could bring like Shinsuke in there, even though he has a belt, but put him in there because he's like kind of, you need to get him over. AJ, and you could build off of, even though AJ has a big long career, not in the WWE. You know what I mean? Like you can build up those things, and Cena heel turn could be like, I was great before all of you guys even put your straps on. You know what I mean? Like you can have him talk shit to a bunch of guys trying to get to his level.
Maybe I don't know. Either way, it could be a really good time. This pay-per-view, even with whatever people thought about endings and stuff like that, I thought it really fucking delivered.
The lows
really fucking delivered.
The lows weren't low enough to bring it down.
Yeah.
There were too many highs.
Especially with the Cody and KO match. I mean, like that's insane.
And I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy that Jay won. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm happy they're putting somebody over more that's already over, because I'm getting a pink Yeet shirt at some point, okay? Like, you will see me rocking the Yeet at some point.
Get the Thunder Shades as well.
Fuck no, I'm not going to get those. But I will get the Yeet shirt because it is an over thing, okay? Yeah. This is the most over since Daniel Bryan, yes. Without a doubt. More than even LA Knight a few years ago.
Ooh, That's a little tough. That's a little tough.
LA Knight was the best since Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan was still, and even like
crazy movement.
Yes was insane. And then even like it just like it was so good. The yes is as good as you're going to see in a long fucking time.
Mhm.
This compares to that because the whole crowd yeets forever.
It is
Like,
wild. It is wild to watch happen, to be quite honest with
it's
you.
really good stuff. And they go, like I said, every time he comes out, they go to commercial and you come back and the place is still rocking.
Mhm.
And his song's not very long. His
No,
song's a
it's
minute
actually
long and it
pretty
repeats.
quick loop. It's a
Quick
pretty
loop.
quick
And it's him just yelling into a mic. I don't even think it's someone singing for it. It's just
him.
Jay.
It is him. It is him.
It's just me, Oos.
Jesus.
That's it. He's just screaming the same way he talks. Okay, like
Things that get over in wrestling are you can never fucking tell, dude. You can never tell what's gonna happen.
just hearing fucking Pat McAfee just talking about yeeting everywhere.
Oh,
He
man.
knows what he's saying.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right. Yes. So
Nate, thank you for being here.
we appreciate you, and we appreciate you, wrestling nerds, coming out with us. We might have just lost people for an hour, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine. And thank you for everyone that commented earlier.
Yes,
when we had other
we
stuff
appreciate it with the politics and sports.
there. Yes.
But yeah, we appreciate everyone. Dave is here temporarily. Dave, we'll see you Wednesday, right?
Most likely, yeah.
What do you mean most likely?
Most likely, unless something pops up, I should be here.
You cut everything else out for us, you dickhead. Anyway, but we appreciate everyone for watching, wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube. I went and fixed Kick. I had to go to freaking Rumble and put the picture up there because they don't take our picture. Why can't the anyway? Whatever. If you're listening, we appreciate it. Give us a good rating, 5 stars. Do your due diligence wherever you are, and we will. I'll be back at some point. David maybe will be back Wednesday.
Yep.
All right, everyone.